Hello everyone and welcome to another Tinfoil Friday. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a good week so far. Hope your weekend's coming up here in either a few hours or maybe it already started for you. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, we have more tinfoil today. I know you've been doing tinfoil a lot, but hey, it's fun. So, yeah, we have all sorts of weird stuff to get into today. Some conspiracy theories about Jack Black. He's in the Minecraft movie, I guess. We have some stuff about reptilians, more medbed stuff. I've been into that recently. So yeah, scammers and weirdos should be good. How's everyone doing? I'm very purple today. Who needs contrast? We're just gonna purple. We're just gonna purple. Let's see if I missed anything in chat. Hey Nemesaur, how's it going? Mr. Blast, what's up? Terradona, Phoenix 2250, The Devil You Know, German Cow JJ, Captain Continuum. How's it going? If you're on YouTube, if you could do me a favor and thumbs up the stream, I'd appreciate it. If you want to help support the stream, you can always do so by gifting subs or subscribing on Twitch, or tipping. We're getting pretty close to our goal for the extra long Tinfoil 420 stream. Alright, I think that's everything out of the way. We can just get to it. We are going to play bingo today, so get your cards ready if you'd like. Use the ! bingo command and it'll get you a card. Let's see what we're going to start with. Let's start with Bob talking about Skinwalkers.
Throughout the ages, and especially in more recent times, a pseudo-belief system called cryptozoology has developed. It's similar to the idea of lycanthropy. That's humans turning into werewolves. Another
Werewolves would be a type of cryptid, but that doesn't make all cryptid stuff werewolves. That's a weird explanation of cryptozoology. And, excuse me, let me take a drink of water. So, like, a lycanthrope could be considered a cryptid, but not all cryptids are lycanthropes. They're fictional anyway, but, like, they're not real. It's stuff like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, the Chupacabra, you know? Beasts that are not real, but are sort of like folk legends in their respective areas.
The name for this phenomenon is cryptid. That refers to the belief that out there somewhere in the wild there are creatures whose existence is unsubstantiated by science. That's like the so-called Yeti, the abominable snowman. Now, some are looking for evidence of half-human, half-animal skinwalkers. I say the skinwalkers are just another demonic trick of Satan to get our eyes off God and onto weird things that draw people into witchcraft and the occult.
The devil's bringing in skinwalkers to distract us from the light of the Lord! Sure, why not?
Be warned. If you see
things that Satan has invented in order to confuse Christians, fossils, rock and roll, werewolves? Alright, alright. Was he drunk that day? It's a weird choice. Terradona, thanks for gifting a sub to my wife. Very appreciate it. Very appreciate it. I'm good at talk. Much good at talk word.
A skinwalker, you'll want to do what I say in this podcast. Hi, I'm Bob Larson.
This YouTube video isn't a podcast, old man.
Millions around the world know me as the real exorcist. I've battled demons for 5 decades. I'm going to share with you what I've learned about how demons and the devil seek to kill, steal, and destroy. Thank you so much for watching this podcast, and as you do, take just a moment to like us on YouTube. That helps.
He's not even a priest. Excuse you? I'm pretty sure he's Protestant. He can do whatever, he can call himself whatever he wants. That's between him and the Lord. Thanks, Martin Luther.
Helps us out a lot. And of course, share.
I actually don't remember what he is, what his specific thing is.
That somebody else could benefit by what you are seeing.
Hey, Amber, I'm good.
Subscribe and hit the notification bell. So
he's been doing this for 50 years. He must not be very good at it. Are you saying Batman isn't good at his job? Excuse you? Is Batman bad at his job just because there's still crime in Gotham after 90 years? Maybe.
So that anytime something new is coming your way, you will be the first to know. And as always, we exist. We're able to do what we're doing, helping so many millions of people all around the world get free from the bondages of Satan. It only happens because our friends...
That's such a funny way to say, I'm going to convert you to my religion, but I'll free you from your local deity, I mean, demons.
Porters. Nobody else but you makes this ministry possible. So thank you so much for sharing a generous donation to help underwrite what we're doing to get out the message that Jesus sets people free. You can text the word GIVE to...
If Jesus sets people free, then why do people need to pay you $200 to do it over Zoom?
The phone number in the screen, 83...
Will Kale, thanks for a 40 stream streak, says, eating sinful birthday cake and drinking sinful Coke. Jack Daniels with Coke in spite towards Bob. I hope you have a wonderful time, and assuming you said birthday cake, so is it your birthday? Happy birthday. If it's someone else's birthday, happy birthday to them.
333-614-4711, or you can go to boblarson.org. There's a button there that says donate. Just click on it. Thank you for doing the best that you can as God lays it upon your heart. And one way that you can give, in addition to another gift, is by subscribing to Ex Dunamis, which is our streaming platform. There's nothing like it in all of Christianity.
Imagine giving him money for a streaming service that's just him saying more bullshit and doing more fake exorcisms. That's so funny.
It's especially designed to keep you educated about spiritual warfare. Of course, we have Bob Larson University, but...
Skinwalkers aren't traditional lycanthropes. They're closer to negatively aligned magicians who disguise themselves willingly as animals or hybrids. Like Animagi, like Harry Potter's uncle.
Dunamis is unique in that we have categories of topics, and you can pick...
Thank you, Clyde.
...what's of interest in you, very much like what...
Animagus, thank you.
Prime and Netflix do. But ours is unique. It's all about Jesus. It's all about people getting free and helping to teach and train...
My wife said, I'm so ready to come home and eat pie. I bet you are, wink.
...you to help others. And so your $20 a month subscription...
Hannah regrets what she just said on the bingo card.
...is tax deductible. It's a gift to this ministry, and it's a gift to you with an amazing amount of information. Some brand new things are up there now that we're into a new month, so check out the latest exorcisms, teaching messages, and all the other videos that we've prepared especially for you on Ex Dunamis. Of existence.
If you see a Skinwalker, do this. Oh, it's like an instructional video.
Ideas of beings like Skinwalkers have existed throughout history, including fairies, dwarfs, little people. They're examples. Ideas of beings like Skinwalkers have existed throughout history, including fairies, dwarfs, little people. They're examples of what I said a moment ago. It's called cryptid. The idea that there are undiscovered creatures unsubstantiated by science. True science calls this belief system known as...
I know when he says little people, he means like Darby O'Gill and the Little People. Like he means leprechauns. But little people is also a phrase used to denote people with dwarfism these days, so... medicated person, thanks for a 10 stream streak.
Cryptozoology, a pseudo.
You think Bob has seen the Gnome Mobile?
Science.
The Gnome Mobile, the Gnome Mobile. We're riding around in the Gnome Mobile.
It's got to be taken seriously. But with mass media in the 20th century, this cryptid belief has morphed into something a lot more serious. Case in point, even though an actual specimen has never been found, people continue to claim that grainy film footage and footprints in the forest are all the proof they need for a creature like Yeti.
Do I really need to point out the hypocrisy of him saying there's not enough proof of a Yeti? Meanwhile, his entire job is scamming people by making them think they're possessed with demons that don't exist. Like, holy shit, Bob. It's not even not self-awareness. Have some shame. Have an ounce of shame. Hypocrisy on the bingo card, for sure.
The name for Scotland's Loch Ness Monster, Nessie is sometimes called, is another example. Now, I have been to Inverness, Scotland, and I've boated from one end of Loch Ness, which means Ness.
Do we know if Bob grew up Catholic? I don't think he did. He's not claiming to be Catholic. He's just wearing the uniform of a Catholic.
Lake.
Because again, that's what people expect from the movie The Exorcist.
To the other.
Moira Soma says, let me remind you all, he's not a priest. He never even went to college. As far as I know, or rather, as far as I can see, he never finished more than high school. He has no higher education. Excuse you? He clearly has a master's in demonology.
I never saw any monsters. No Nessie, that's what the locals call, affectionately, this creature that supposedly is out there. No Leviathan arching out of the water. Just a Loch Ness Monster center of souvenirs, catering to tourists who are there to...
Wow, Bob. People using people's superstitious or paranormal beliefs in order to make money? Who would do that, Bob? We're all trying to find the guy who did this.
Cite the elusive.
We are playing bingo today.
Undersea creature. But the idea of a skinwalker...
Just a Peach with a tip says, I love the Gnome Mobile. The soaped gnome chase is wild. Right? What a weird movie. Surprised anyone else remembers it.
Takes supernatural...
We're watching the Skinwalker video right now, Densetsu.
Natural sightings much further.
The quote in the middle in the paragraph above it explain it all. Where? Which paragraph? You're gonna have to be more specific than that. In life and career. Larson plays guitar. He claimed his early experiences as a musician led him to concerns about occult and destructive influences in rock music. He would later incorporate his guitar playing into some of his sermons. In the 60s, the later focus of Larson's preaching centered mainly on the leftist political ideology, sexually suggestive lyrics, Eastern religions, mysticism, and antisocial behavior of many of the era's rock musicians. Harold Elbelman says, Bob Larson is a fucking carny. He's a showman like myself. He does what he does for ratings and to sell his cult shit videotapes and his cassettes to you. The weak-minded fuck, okay? Bob Larson has actually admitted this shit to me. Bob Larson and me are actually kind of friends. Bob Larson does what he does to make money to support his prostitute habits. Oh my god, and that was cited with 6. Let me find that on here. Go under the little citations.
Take my fucking shit down. It's like pointing to Jack. I like that. Thanks, Scott, you dickhead. I understand. You're okay. Thanks there, Steve Wilkos. Anything that's fucking, like, really... At the same tour, I met Euronymous. That little short guy from that band.
Let me see if I can find where this guy talks about it. It's in the transcript, I would imagine. Control F, Bob.
I did never mail the scab to Larson. That's a rumor. Bob Larson, let me tell you something about Bob Larson. Bob Larson is a carny. He is a fucking showman like myself. He does what he does for ratings and to sell his fucking bullshit videotapes and his cassettes to you, the weak-minded fuck. Okay? I know, but you know what I'm saying? That's what Bob Larson does. Bob Larson is a fucking carny, and that's all Bob Larson is. Bob Larson has admitted this shit to me. Bob Larson and me are kind of actually friends, okay? So Bob Larson is no more than a fucking showman like myself. He does what he does to make fucking money to support his prostitute habit. Bastards of Christ!
That's the most believable thing I've ever heard about Bob, is that he's doing this for prostitute money. Yikes. Good to see you, Unstable Deadbeat. Glad you're here, too.
Published account of a skinwalker that I read went like this, and I'm quoting directly from it. A man named James was driving through the back roads of Arizona late at night. The only light came from his headlights and the occasional full moon slipping through the clouds. As he drove, he noticed a coyote standing by the road. It was standing on its hind legs. The creature had long, thin arms and glowing yellow eyes. A feeling of dread washed over him.
Unstable Deadbeat says, "Oh wow, Canada's calling me. The caller display literally just says Canada. They're calling for you. They have a place for you. You're about to ascend."
James sped up, but a moment later he heard something pounding on the roof of his truck. When he looked in the rearview mirror...
He wears his priest cosplay when he's with the prostitutes. Do you think he like, tells the sex workers, he's like, okay, I want you to... Your name is Lilith.
The thing was running alongside his vehicle on all...
What did I watch a while back that had a premise where someone was a sex worker and they ended up going and sleeping with a priest, or like a one of these like scumbag scammer pastors? What was that goddamn movie? Huh.
All fours keeping pace at 60 miles an hour. Then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, it veered off into the darkness. He didn't stop until he reached his uncle's house and told him he had seen a skinwalker. The uncle warned him never to speak its name out loud. Doing so could draw the skinwalker back to him. That night outside his window, he heard whispering in a strange language. He never took that road at night again.
You ever notice his stories have the same energy as like an old chain email that you would get from an aunt? Or like something that same aunt would later post on Facebook as like a "don't scroll past, you must read to be blessed," or whatever. And that child was Albert Einstein.
A skinwalker's real or just imagined? Who believes in skinwalkers? Well, for example, Navajo Native Americans and other indigenous tribes believe in skinwalkers. While the skinwalker legend is mainly from Navajo culture, similar beliefs exist in other Native American traditions. Some paranormal enthusiasts take skinwalkers very seriously. Many people interested in the supernatural believe skinwalkers are tied to cryptid sightings. This is especially true in rural communities in the southwestern part of the United States. There are areas like Skinwalker Ranch in Utah. They've become famous for alleged encounters. In Navajo culture, skinwalkers are said to be evil witches who gain dark powers by breaking cultural taboos, like harming family members. Many Navajos refuse to even speak the name Skinwalker. They won't say it out loud. They believe it can attract more skinwalkers. People who have encountered one often describe the fast-moving, unnatural creature screaming.
Is this ancient wisdom? No, because I think he's going to shoo it in favor of saying, no, they're actually demons. So he's not citing this as fact, at least from his perspective.
Screaming voices and a deep sense of fear and dread. Many on social media argue that half-human, half-demonic beings must exist. These myths have persisted throughout history. Example, the Minotaur in the labyrinth was half bull and half human. The Philistines worshiped the god Dagon. I've dealt with that demon, half human, half fish.
Of course, he knows him personally. He's a work acquaintance more than anything else.
But shape-shifting, like Skinwalkers, is a different matter.
I often consort with the deep ones.
That idea suggests that human beings can suddenly shift into a ferocious animal on all fours. In Africa, some people believe in the existence of a lion man, a witch doctor morphing back and forth between a lion and a human. Highly occult developed Buddhists, lamas in Tibet claim the same powers. Are such things real, and should we even bother discussing them? Do demons have the ability to take on both animal and human form and switch between the two? We know that Satan has the power to take inanimate objects and turn them into living things. We see this with Pharaoh's magicians when they sought to duplicate the miracle of Moses. And
I didn't know he believed that that was a thing. That's pretty cool. So he thinks like that Satan could do like a Beauty and the Beast house. He could make Jean Cocteau arms real. Very cool, Satan.
Turned their rods into snakes. Throughout history, there have been stories of idols.
Glad you're here too, Dark Beast.
Becoming animated, but this is mostly the stuff of legends. So what exactly can the devil do, and what can't he do? In my many years as an exorcist, I've learned something. When I think that Satan can't do something, he does it. I'm not talking about the violation of basic spirit.
Dr. Worm, this is true. I didn't even consider to say this, but you are correct. Dr. Worm says Exodus does not say that Satan caused the Egyptian staff to turn into, or rather the Egyptian staffs to turn into snakes. Fun fact, it was their god because the original Hebrews weren't monotheists. Correct, Dr. Worm. The narrative for many little stories like that has to change, though, over time, because modern Christians are monotheist and have to act as though the religion always was, even though it was expressly not.
Spiritual
or at least I should say literalist Christians have to do that.
Laws and the rules of an exorcism, which is executed by the authority of Christ. I'm speaking of phenomenal events in everyday life. When people deliberately tap into the darkest part of Satan's kingdom, there is supernatural power beyond human imagination accompanying Satan's activity. Well, of course, the devil is not omnipotent, nor is he omniscient. These are distinctions only the Lord God possesses, but the devil can mimic the attributes of the Almighty. Only God is a creator. Satan can't create ex nihilo, that is, out of nothing. But the devil can manipulate energy and matter.
I think that would come down to a difference of what they think the definition of God is. For, like, a Christian, the capital G God is the one that created the universe and everything else. It is the ultimate source from which everything else generates. It is like the progenerator, whereas even if there are immortal beings, they're not gods, they're separate things, whereas other religions and pantheons might have a variety of immortal gods that have always coexisted, which is not the case for Christianity, which believes modern Christianity believes there was a god, a trinity, perhaps, depending on your particular sect's beliefs on the Trinity, and that everything comes from that.
Ways that no scientist can understand. Satan's apparently capable of transmuting forms by changing back and forth energy and matter, such as the appearance of UFOs, which I believe is a good example of that. And furthermore, whatever visible forms of the devil may appear, whether
Did he just say aliens or demons? Was that aliens or demons on the bingo card?
they're in actuality or by manipulation of the observer's perception, the devil makes unreality appear real. That could include an animal morphing into a human or vice versa. Or it might be paranormal feats, such as those described by people who...
I believe that academically it would be considered that. If you say it, Amber, I'm just saying they don't think about it like that. It doesn't matter if that's how it's considered academically. They don't consider it that.
say they've seen Skinwalkers.
I mean, it matters definitionally, but, like, I'm talking about their internal beliefs and self-identification.
What the devil can't do, though, is duplicate...
This guy's a nitwit? No, he's really not. Bob's a scammer. He knows all this is bullshit. Like, I don't even know if he's a Christian, like, to be entirely honest with you. And I normally wouldn't, like, question that, because frankly, it just doesn't matter to me. I don't really care. In this case, it sucks, though, because he absolutely takes advantage of his audience hardcore. It's his whole scam, and I really don't think he believes a single word of this crap. Lennon Cat with 40 bits says, the word for spirits or demons in Hebrews is shadim. This was used to describe foreign gods, and it holds no moral implications. Shadim could be evil, but not by necessity. It just describes powerful spirits that might be mistaken for a god. And to this day is the Hebrew word for jinn, a similar concept in Islam and Arabic folklore.
Mercy, grace, and love. Forgiveness of sin alone is in God's hands. Changing a human into a coyote or back to a human is not to be compared with the sacrificial atonement of the cross and the bodily resurrection
Raffles Master 9, thanks for following.
Of our Lord Jesus Christ. And in a moment, my surprising conclusion about Skinwalkers.
Stop shilling your fucking products. He has multiple different products.
Ancestor worship and veneration. The Revelation of John tells us that in the last days of the tribulation, there will be an inanimate object that speaks. Revelation 11:13 through 15 says of this,
it was a big mouth Billy Bass.
Then I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. And he exercises all the authority.
How do dragons speak? Question mark. I've not seen Smaug.
The first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. He performs great signs so that he even makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and he deceives those who dwell on the earth.
Like Sean Connery, sick dragon heart reference, bro.
By those signs which he was granted to do.
I won't say what I want to say, because then someone would get a space on the bingo card, but you all know what I want to say about Dragonheart, but I can't say it.
In this side.
Annie McKean, thanks for 28 months, says happy Friday. Remember to hydrate. I will hydrate.
The beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, and the image of the
I will neither confirm nor deny, Electric Brain.
Beast should both speak and cause as
Steve with the Q, thanks for 54 months, and there's a hydrate command, almost on a hype train. If anyone wants to help out with the hype train, consider gifting subs or subscribing. We're still a little behind for the month on subs, but we are catching up, so that's good.
Many as would not worship the beast and its image.
Stone Corbell, thank you so much for gifting a sub and kicking off a hype train.
To be killed. Perhaps there will be some kind of super bot that takes our...
Wasn't this about Skinwalkers? Yeah, but Bob already got... We're 14 minutes into this. If I didn't have YouTube Premium, he would have got at least one mid-roll in there. He can meander.
Artificial intelligence.
Paradona, thank you for gifting 5 tier 1 subs and getting us over level 1 of the hype train. Thank you for your generosity.
Just to another level.
Overthought, thanks for gifting a sub.
Such things are not quite the same as a Skinwalker.
Your doctor sent you 3 more vials of E when you had 3 in stock? Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Even if the devil can't cause a human being to suddenly become a ferocious animal, the idea that such things exist creates fear, and that fear causes cultures that believe in Skinwalkers to seek witchcraft as the antidote for stopping such things. It's common.
He's such an asshole. Unstable Deadbeat, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. It's just a gift sub party today. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it.
In American Indian community.
As a D&D fan, did you like the Chris Pine film? I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I wouldn't mind seeing more in that style. It doesn't have to be surrounding the same people, but, like, I liked the movie. Good.
That believe in Skinwalkers to have rituals and substances to ward off Skinwalkers.
One of the things I liked about the movie is I could imagine in my head most of the things that was happening as if it were on a tabletop. Like, I could imagine the actual things they were doing as mechanics in the game. And it was also just a fun movie, but, like, I think that's a good thing to do for a D&D movie.
May include sage, herbs.
Annie McKean, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs and getting us over level... My goodness, what level are we over now? What a hype train. That's at least over level 5, I think.
Ashes as a
level 4 complete for sure. Altered Undying says, cool thing about the movie is the fight scenes were done in 5x5 spaces. Really? 59% to level 5 on the hype train.
Preventing a Skinwalker from bringing terror. So how seriously should we as Christians take such things? Skinwalkers are just a distraction of sorcery to draw people's attention into occult speculation. It may be that demons can appear on occasion.
So funny that he says occult speculation is bad, but that's literally his job. His job is speculating about what he considers to be the occult.
In human form just for a brief time, but it's more likely the Skinwalkers.
As a witch, I should be offended by this. I'm not offended by stupid, impotent men.
They're just strange looking,
not worth it,
people whose presence is frightening. And if you let your imagination run wild, well, almost anything can happen. If you do see a Skinwalker, don't be afraid. I suppose it is demonic. Well, so what? God is more powerful. Go about your business, whatever you're doing, and ignore the encounter. To entertain an interest is to invite the spirit of fear spoken of in 1 Timothy 4:8. We're to have power, love, and a sound mind as we walk through this world. Skinwalkers, like the abominable snowman, are phenomena that pull people away from the true God. Jesus doesn't come to scare us. He comes to save us. I think I
Save us from what, Bob? Save us from what again? Oh, going to hell to burn for eternity? Because he said so? Oh, okay. That's like a mafia racket, but cool beans. Sorry, I'm not trying to do the thing.
You to say that again. Jesus doesn't come to make us fearful. He comes to save us and set us free. And that's what this ministry is all about. And I pray that through what I have shared, you have come to realize that there's a lot out there going on you may not be aware of, but social media is, and a lot of podcasts are talking about these types of things, and that's why I'm trying to give balance to say,
oh, he had an addiction to sex workers? He sucks their toes.
Hey, wait a minute.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
Even Christians who...
And also for the reasons of it was a joke.
...speculate about this can go overboard. Nobody knows more about how real the demonic world is than I do.
2 minutes left on the hype train.
With 5 decades of experience of dealing with tens of thousands of demon-possessed people, I understand that Satan can do what we don't think he can do. The minute we put a barrier on him, he steps over that barrier. Now, as I've already pointed out, he cannot step beyond the bounds of what defines God's nature. And I've already explained that. Grace, love, mercy. God is eternal, always was, ever shall be. And by Jesus Christ, the Word of God says, all things consist, all things were created by him. Skinwalkers, whatever they may be, whether in the imagination or in the sighting of someone who has seen a demonic creature taking another shape and form, it is nothing to be immediately concerned about, but to be rebuked, to be stayed away from, and leave it alone.
Minute left on the hype train.
And give it to the judgment of God.
Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs and getting us over level 5 of the hype train.
Remember.
Let me see, are we caught up? I think we're just about caught up on subs for the month now. Thank you, everyone, for helping me catch up on that. I really, really appreciate it.
Satan is frightened.
I try to average like 10 a day. I don't know. That's a rough average.
The word of
Sometimes
God.
it ends up more than that, but it just depends.
God.
But thank
And
you.
fight
You very, very much helped me.
Back with the sword of the Spirit and the armor of God, and no Skinwalker is going to cause you damage. And don't turn to witchcraft.
Do you have a quota? No, but I do to pay bills.
To try to solve the problem. Turn to the Lord Jesus Christ. He is the only hope over every kind of supernatural evil that Satan tries to foist.
It's not you guys' again, I feel like I'm a bitch for even talking about this. It's not you guys' fault. I just streamed less earlier in the month because I was working and then I was busy, so it's on me. I need to provide a service for people to even care to donate. I appreciate it.
Beings.
If you do the exact opposite of what Bob is suggesting, will you get a sexy demon boyfriend? No, for that you're going to need a blood pentagram and the heart of an innocent.
Thank you so much for watching. I deal with things like this simply because it's necessary. I don't know how often you surf the internet and you look at what some of the other...
All right. So that's Bob on that. Let's see what we got next. Artemis8192, thank you for 49 months with Prime. Appreciate it.
Met with alien ambassadors, met with alien ambassadors, and I've engaged with extraterrestrial stuff. Anyone who knows my work in the last year alone knows that I've been interfacing with the biggest private collection of alien artifacts, and I
believes they speak to aliens regularly on the bingo card.
Two last questions. What do you say to all of those people that are coming up with all of these different prophecies now that we are headed towards doomsday and the whole world's about to collapse and yada yada?
I don't mean to be this person, but you can look at every era in human history and see people saying that. Don't get me wrong, I recognize the precarious political and economic situation we're in currently, but it's also not unique for people to have ideas that the end of the world is coming. Things change all the time. There are sometimes catastrophes, and those things are terrible. But the world hasn't ended yet. And yet people have been making these predictions. The beginning of human thought.
Yadi, freaking Lucifer's coming back, like Antichrist, all of this shit, like the whole world's about to be set on fire. What do you say to those kind of...
Why would you even be upset about that if you were a Christian? That's literally in the book you read. It's supposed to happen as far as you're concerned. Shouldn't you be happy? Why would you be worried?
People, man.
So you need to understand the kind of mythos of the story of the great Ahriman to understand that the end of the Luciferic age is upon us as opposed to the onset of the Luciferic age. So we're actually departing the fallen light of Atlantis. We're departing the
Atlantis on the bingo card.
Saturnian satanic Luciferic age. We're departing the galactic sleep altogether and moving now into the galactic day. More than just entering into a 13,000 year galactic day cycle, we're actually moving fully into the ascendancy, the fifth density ascendancy. The
dimensions beyond our own on the bingo card.
And
minute left in the hype train.
Because we are departing the thrall of Saturnian, Luciferic, satanic, galactic sleep, because we're departing it, there is a final compression of all of that illusion of shade, of contrast. And that illusion of shade and contrast...
They say chthonic? I didn't catch that.
...that is compressing into this departure point is creating the illusion of the onset of impending doom, apocalypse, Armageddon. That was always written into the counterpoint geometry of Ascension. And to lower frequency, let me try and be kind for a change, for lower frequency souls, human beings who are still paddling around in the shallows of binary logic, they will naturally...
Word salad on the bingo card. I can't believe it took me this long to say it, but word salad. Oh, that's a cute emote. Little frog. Little frog. A little frog.
Naturally and needfully.
Thank you, everyone, for that incredible hype train. I really couldn't do this without viewers like you, so thank you very much.
See an apocalypse where in point of fact it's an ascension, but it, in a sense, they are also serving, you know, the contrast serves at that compression point because it creates the springboard for us to move into the ascendancy, into the next great iteration of our evolution, of our expression. So there's no judgment here. I'm not judging those people who are doomsday merchants. I've been accused of being a doomsday merchant myself when I couldn't be further from that. I've always been an unbearable optimist. And even...
Did I mention the guy on the right? I talked about him the other day. He gets covered on the Mind of Steel show. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the show on YouTube, Mind of Steel. Very funny guy runs it. He talks about a bunch of different conspiracy theorists, mostly in the sphere around a conspiracy theorist from the UK named Mark Steele. But he's covered this guy as well. His name is Sasha Stone. This guy has his own compound that he claims runs on a perpetual energy machine he invented. Again, I went over that briefly before, but I don't know if you remember this guy.
Even at the eve of the COVID or COVIDiacy 4 or 5 years ago, when I started in this very room, I was locked down here. And this is where I was. I was in my home here in Bali during the lockdown and the beginning of it. And I started speaking then. And I got a very big voice in that year because I was broadcasting almost every single day and being interviewed every single day and meeting with hundreds of medical scientists and doctors. And I'm
going to hit X to doubt on that one, that you were meeting hundreds of medical scientists a day. For what? Who are you? Why would you be doing that? You're a random hippie.
And investigating what was going on and how.
Does he mean he harassed a bunch of healthcare workers? Is that what he means by he interfaced with the hundreds of medical scientists a day? Did he go to different hospitals and harass people?
What we were seeing with the onset of COVID, the COVIDiacy was the
what a portmanteau.
End of days, was the collapse of the old timelines into a zeroing out and a regenesis point. And to be sure, that's exactly what it is. I mean, the fact that there are still people who are seeing catastrophic failure, those people are the people who are, I think, stranded or entrained into.
Can we go over the card after this? I'll do you one better. We can go over the card right now because I'm already at my limit for his word salad. So let's look at the bingo card. Okay, for sure word salad, of course. What else? What even was the first video? It just totally fell out of my head. Oh, the Bob Larson thing. Believes they speak to aliens regularly for that guy. Staggering levels of hypocrisy. Mentions beyond our own. Shilling scamming. You're living in fear, because Bob was saying that the shapeshifter thing was to make you afraid, so you do the witchcraft or something. Hannah regrets what she just said on the bingo card. Satanic. Atlantis. Aliens are demons. And is that it? I want to say that's it. Did I miss anything? He did cover a lot of ground. Yeah. There was Atlantis, yeah. Oh, Mark of the Beast? Did we have Mark of the Beast? Oh yeah, he was talking about like the Antichrist and stuff and the end times, so that makes sense. All right, back into it.
Mutation, which is the transmutation, which is the transformation of your transmutation.
Sorry, real quick. Stone Corbell with 50 bits says, I think a lot of people were just driven completely insane by COVID. They could not handle that certain things are out of their control and decided that reality just doesn't apply to them if they don't want it to. I would agree. In my lifetime, the two events that led to the most new conspiracy theorists are 9/11 and COVID. Pretty ridiculous. People just cannot handle bad things happening. And that's not a personal judgment, by the way. Like, at the end of the day, people have been traumatized, and people, like, adapt to that trauma in different ways. Fortunately, a lot of people develop maladaptive coping mechanisms, and I think a shockingly underreported number of people have just completely disassociated and are, like, not living in reality in a healthy way. Just complete derealization. They don't even realize it. Anyway.
Transmutation, which is the transformation of your sexual energy into fuel for your pineal gland, begins when there is an
so obsessed with their goddamn pineal gland.
Internal alignment of the chakras. The chakras are an artistic depiction of the individual glands, which as a whole make up the endocrine system. The heart.
Not really. Poor understanding of Eastern religion or philosophy on the bingo card.
At the core.
That's definitely a post hoc justification to try and make it seem like chakras are scientific when they're not.
Core of an individual is the gateway between your lower and higher energy centers. And so for your opposing energies to harmonize, your heart space must first be in harmony. Transmutation is a spiritual
the semen retention stuff again? I think so, or at least it's related.
Practice at its core. Successful practitioners enter blissful states and enjoy spiritual growth. Those who successfully transmute their sexual energy.
The soil of spiritual growth is semen.
Energy will experience
like miracle grow.
Healing flow which vitalizes the body and organs. This flow of healing energy also brings in its current the enlightenment of the mind, which leads to success in life. Sexual energy is an electrical force which the mind craves. It's
not an electrical force. What are you talking about? You can't just say stuff. And that's plasma. That's plasma.
Energy and food for the brain, enhancing activity and function, and giving it adequate resources for its growth and development. Those who waste away their life force, waste away their own resources. They pay the price of sluggish bodies and minds, which lack inspiration and motivation.
Is there a word for the obsession with one's own bodily fluids? I've noticed that is like a specific thing that certain people get into. They get obsessed with the idea that they need to save their excretions, let's call it. Gotta be a thing with that. Why?
Force is to the body and mind what fuel is to a vehicle. It is the ignition spark and fuel of the achiever in life. It is vitality and sustenance, stirring up movement within the members of men.
No, I'm not even talking about Shivambu, because that would be urine. I'm talking about other things.
Spiritual system.
Because I've seen other people on the internet that save that stuff, even if they do masturbate, they still save the cum. It's the whole thing. People are interesting.
At their
human brains are so fucked.
Core teach that in order for an individual to enter heaven, he must first be pure of heart. Heaven is within, as we're told. The kingdom.
We don't talk about the jar, we don't talk about the box. Chicken bacon Swiss.
The kingdom of heaven is within. This is esoteric language. Heaven refers to the mind, and earth refers to the body. Entering heaven is entering blissful states while in this life. It is in fact our energy which rises from the earth to heaven, from our root chakra to our crown. A tree.
Okay, enough of that. We get it. You can't go to heaven if your balls are empty. Oh, look, it's that Jack Black video. This gentleman, I think, worked or works for InfoWars. Probably past tense. What's InfoWars doing? I know that there was that ruling against Alex Jones. That still holding up? What's going on with that?
Hollywood is a festering pit of depravity. And the whistleblowers, big names you know, are stepping up, exposing a cesspool where paedophilia thrives and child stars are prey. It's all part of a globalist push to normalize the unthinkable. And every so often, something so rotten, so corrupt surfaces that it stops you cold. Like a covert side project from Jack Black. Not some flashy new release, but a buried gem that lays bare the whole sick game. This is MK Ultra programming and paedophilia pandering in overdrive. The most shameless example you'll ever witness. Could it be real? Damn right it is. From Disney to
By the way, propaganda technique. You ask a rhetorical question and then answer it for your audience, so you make them think it's their idea. It's susceptible on people who watch Fox News. Are you upset about that? Of course you are. Oh, I am? Oh, I must be. He keeps saying it. Oh, crazy. Wow. Wow, I didn't know I felt that way until he said I felt that way. But of course I felt that way. I always did. Like he just said.
Nickelodeon, the kid content crowd keeps getting caught. And now Jack
MK Ultra on the bingo card.
Black's sick movie ties it all
and predictive programming, sure.
Together. Who's behind this? We're about to blow it open and name names. Don't go anywhere. Before we dive in, join the TPV free speech community over on Soju. Soju is a digital space where ideas and information can take place without any annoying algorithms or restrictive rules getting in the way of free expression.
Oh boy, how much anti-Semitism can you fit in one forum? Because I'm betting that one's about to find out. Holy shit.
Child stars in Hollywood aren't just groomed, they're systematically abused, passed around like commodities. And it's an open secret everybody in the industry knows but won't touch. From auditions to after parties, the predators lurk, and no one bats an eye. It's baked into the system.
That's a picture of Steven Spielberg. So I'm assuming he's implying that Steven Spielberg is a pedophile. We do not have any evidence for. I think we all know that in any powerful organizations, in the church, in Hollywood, anywhere where there's people with power, unfortunately, there are people who are awful, awful people who will use their positions of power to harm children. We've seen it in the Catholic Church, we've seen it in other churches, we've seen it in Hollywood. The fucked up thing. That doesn't mean you get to just point at random people and go, pedophile. Like, that's not how this works. Did I hear about the Van Damme human trafficking thing? No, I didn't.
Jack Black darkly hinted during a promo interview for the Minecraft movie.
The Beastmaster. And I thought, well, this is going to be hilarious. And yeah, and sure enough, it was a great chemistry we had, and we had a ball.
Full circle, sort of, for you, because we found this video clip of your first acting gig. I think we've got it here. This is Jack Black. You're 13 years old.
No.
Oh, this is in that he did a commercial. What was the commercial for? Was it Capri Sun? No, what was it? It was some commercial. Was it for a board game? It might have been a board
Stand by.
game.
Oh, here boy. It comes.
Yeah. Oh, it's for a video game. It's like
Last night, I was lost in the jungle with Pitfall Harry, surrounded by giant scorpions and man-eating crocodiles.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
First commercial.
Dude, you never forget the first job. And it was an incredible gig to have as a kid. I loved acting, and I loved attention.
Yeah.
And so everybody at school was like, you were on TV, I saw you.
I just noticed his shirt is a Minecraft diamond vein. Diamond block.
A Pitfall commercial. So yeah, it goes back to my early days. I was a child actor.
Yeah, and you've turned out okay.
Turned out okay.
You know.
Jack Black's mom worked for NASA. Are they going to bring that up? Are they going to bring up the fact that Jack Black's mom worked for NASA in this video?
Not all of us make it through.
I know.
Turned out okay. Jack Black, a former child star himself, damn well knows the drill, which makes his side projects pushing this filth even more indefensible. He's not just complicit, he's amplifying and repeating the nightmare he survived.
What did she do? I think she did math. For NASA.
It's Die Antwoord, the South African weirdo artists and rap duo made up
they're cool.
of Ninja and Yolandi Visser. They dropped a short film on YouTube called Tommy Can't Sleep, and it's one of the most sinister stomach-churning pieces of media we've ever dissected. For those well-versed in monarch mind control programming and the coded language and symbols tied to ritual abuse and paedophilia, these elements will stand out clearly throughout the film. For those new to the subject, we'll quickly break down some of the most troubling examples. Picture this. Lil Tommy, played by their own daughter 16 Jones, is a kid—
Were they the people in Chappie? Yes, they were.
Tormented by rats creeping around his house at night. Then Yolandi, half rat—
Yeah, a lot of their music videos and stuff are like really weird, avant-garde, disturbing. That's an intentional thing they do.
Half predator.
They probably enjoy being called the South African weirdo artists. Yeah, it's clearly what they're going for. They're going for kind of weird and disturbing. That's their thing.
Slithers onto his bed, grooming him, luring him into a literal rat hole with promises of candy, boobies, arse, and a lot of fucking rats. Spoiler, those rats, they're not rodents, they're pedophiles. A fact that becomes as plain as day. It gets worse. Down in that hellhole, Tommy is shoved into a birdcage, forced to watch Yolandi, Ninja, and a mostly naked Jack Black, yeah, that Jack Black, carry out sexualized satanic rituals. Notice the penis with butterfly wings? That
spurious symbology is evidence on the bingo card.
That's classic monarch mind control programming. Notice the telltale pedophile spiral on the blanket?
Oh my god, the spiral thing isn't true. I've talked about this before. That's like a 4chan prank that a bunch of conspiracy theorists believe.
The movie is overloaded with overt pedophilia symbolism.
It's not, though. You guys decided it was.
Black plays Big Tommy, the demonic grown-up version of the kid. And the whole movie is MK Ultra programming on steroids. Unrelenting in-your-face promotion of child grooming and open pedophilia. In the end...
Where's the pedophilia?
Moral of the story, if it can be called that, is that pedophiles, those who groom...
Has anyone kept up with Peter Hanna? He posted a thing like last month. He's not posted a ton. He's very excited because Trump's in office, so he thinks everything's going great.
Lure children shall rule the world. Where have you heard that before? It just so happens to be the unofficial motto of the globalist elite,
Hydrate.
Whose system of blackmail and coercion gorges on pedophilia.
Believes evidence is self-evident on the bingo card? Sure, yeah.
Pedophilia and ritual abuse. But here's where it twists harder. Ninja and Yolandi aren't just weird artists. Their adopted son, Gabriel Toki Dupreez, has hit them with the heaviest accusations imaginable. Claims of sexual and physical abuse.
Oh, that sucks if that's true.
And worse. Revealing them as real-life monsters behind the freak show act. So why is Jack Black...
That is from... I don't want to say anything about it because I haven't seen anything about that.
Former child star who now makes big-budget Hollywood...
Tell him about Peter's robot. Oh yeah, he built a robot that's just ChatGPT.
Movies for kids, choosing to team up with people accused of such horrors and make movies like this. Why is he diving headfirst into this evil flick? Reveling in a role so vile, many people believe it's practically a confession.
Did his use of globalist count as thinly veiled anti-Semitism? Yes, thinly veiled anti-Semitism.
Is he exposing the game or playing it? This isn't just art gone wrong, it's a window into something rotten. In the spirit of studying the enemy, let's dive into the movie itself.
I'm gonna have to skip this because I can't just play the whole thing.
Fucking rats. Fuck! I'm fucking in. Let's do fuck.
Yet? Got a knot in your stomach yet?
No. Have you not seen movies before? What the fuck are you talking about? If you saw a Serbian film, you'd fucking have a heart attack.
The real nightmare's still ahead. The chilling threads of...
Which, to be fair, a Serbian film sucks, so, like, I get it, but...
Monarch mind control programming, weave through it all.
Did you actually know that it's a commentary on how Serbia censored filmmaking after the fucking Bosnian War? Yeah, man, he fucks a kid in it. I don't care.
Paired with a shameless in-your-face...
They intended to make an incredibly offensive movie that would forever mark Serbian film with the taint of child abuse. They did it. Success. You did it.
It's push of pedophilia. It's shameless. It's blatant. And it's hiding in plain sight.
If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Just don't watch the movie. It's not good.
Today's sponsor is pillsforever.com. If you think Big Pharma have your best interests at heart, think again. Under Biden, the price of medicine in America has skyrocketed.
What?
And there are certain medicines Big Pharma don't want you to know about.
He literally signed a thing to make insulin prices capped. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's why I've partnered with
Clinton's, Biden's, Obama, yes, on the bingo card.
Pillsforever.com. All of their FDA-approved medicines are the cheapest you'll find anywhere.
This video was uploaded 2 days ago. We're not even in Biden's America. Fucking what? This isn't even an old video.
More importantly, you can order medicines that Big Pharma don't want you to have. such as ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine.
Oh, all the meds that dipshits used during COVID. Good, good, good. Drink your horse paste, fuckos.
And fenbendazole. Speaking of fenbendazole, not only does it get rid of parasites that live inside your body, there have been studies that show fenbendazole can help with cancer. Listen to this.
Oh my god, this is so fucking unethical and disgusting.
Testimony of Joe Tippins, a cancer survivor, thanks to fenbendazole.
2 years ago, Joe Tippins says he was told to go home, call hospice, and say his goodbyes. The doctors were unanimous. He was going to die of small
Trump said he wants to, oh boy, Terra Pharmaceuticals, great.
cell lung cancer.
Once that kind of cancer goes that far afield, the odds of survival are less than 1%, and the median life expectancy is 3 months.
Tippins says he got a tip, not from a pharmacist, but a veterinarian. And in
no, a vet!
his desperation, he turned from people medicine to dog medicine. Specifically, fenbendazole.
My insurance company spent $1.2 million on me with traditional means before I switched to a $5 a week medicine that actually saved me.
Get 15%.
Oh my fucking god. All of these people should be in prison for saying this shit.
Off using coupon code People's Voice at the checkouts. Please click the link below this video to take advantage of this fantastic offer. We hope you've steeled yourselves because
I've already given up and I'm assuming our civilization is already collapsing and there's nothing I can do about it. If anyone in the future sees this, fucking prosecute these people before it gets this out of hand. Don't repeat the same mistakes. You don't have to do this, you know.
We're about to plunge deeper into the abyss. But remember, this movie...
Green guy with a $3 tip says, Hannah, you know what I hate? Nuts and ice cream and people you cover. I'm like, nuts and ice cream are good. I like nuts.
Doesn't just stand alone, but fits into a broader disturbing pattern. For years, countless whistleblowers, some of whom have paid with their lives, have sounded the alarm about the entertainment industry's slow, insidious normalization of paedophilia. Remember Anne Heche? She warned us about the dangers of the industry and was working on a bombshell tell-all documentary about the system. Then she was killed in bizarre and shocking circumstances live on television.
Ambulance.
What?
That's some...
I don't know if we actually see her die in this, but I'm certainly not gonna play it. So, ew. And there's more clip of the Diane twerp video.
With the industry, but few. It has long been claimed that Hollywood stars and entertainment industry celebrities need to join the Illuminati to make it to the top of the industry, but few people outside of the Illuminati inner circle
Illuminati on the bingo card.
Truly understand what this looks like.
This guy AI? No, he's not.
That is slowly beginning to change, as celebrities who've been subjected to the Illuminati system.
Kanye's legitimately severely mentally ill and a Nazi, so maybe don't cite him.
Break down and leak inside information exposing the true inner workings of Hollywood and the entertainment industry. It's not glamorous. That's the dream they sell.
By Illuminati, I assume he means Scientology? No? Why would he mean Scientology?
In reality, it's...
Oh, because Hollywood. I get it. Because, okay, I understand.
Sickening.
Sorry, I'm a little slow on the uptake today.
And depraved.
Is this the fucking pronouns guy? No, that guy's bald. They don't even look alike. No.
Just
Is it because they both are English?
Ask Hollywood actor Ricky Schroeder, one of many celebrities
from Silver Spoons,
to break down and blow the whistle on paedophilia and satanic rituals he witnessed as a child star in the entertainment industry.
Let me explain. When I was young, I couldn't drive yet. I was hanging out with the older guys.
Sorry, I forget. Was Ricky sure? Is he ill now? I forget. I know there was like an older celebrity from a show where he's now like a Trump guy, but also he's like ill mentally.
And I'm in Point Doom, and somebody popped in a cassette tape into a VHS player.
Oh yeah, I remember this. We watched this original video. Basically, someone showed him a porn or something. And he claimed it was a snuff film?
There was a room with a body. I believe it was a male laying on a table. And people came around the room. It was dimly lit, but they had hoods and robes on. And they had some sort of ritual where they took out a knife and they cut him down the side. It was his right side. And they took out parts of him, and the blood started flowing.
Why would you think it's a snuff film? I'm misremembering, because what he's describing isn't a porn. I don't recall. Maybe he's just misremembering being shown a snuff film. Either way, I don't believe when he was a child that they showed him a snuff film. I just don't think that's true. If he thinks this really happened, it's probably a delusion, which is unfortunate.
And they were chanting, and there was women there, and they took off their clothes, and then they...
Okay, maybe it was porn?
They took the blood, and they smeared it on their bodies.
Like a weird satanic themed porn?
And started to be sexual with each other. It was quite disturbing to see. And so they gave me the cassette, and I took the cassette to somebody I trusted. And we watched it. And they said, never watch that again, and give it back to whoever gave it to you. So I did that, but I was always confused about why they didn't ask where it came from.
Because it was probably just like a porn, and the stabbing and stuff was just like an effect. You know, it was just like a Rick Baker-esque stab effect. It was just themed after demonic stuff, but it was just a porn, probably, and you were young enough that you didn't know that. They shouldn't have given you that. You were a child. It was illegal for them to give you that, and it's fucked up for them to give you that. So I'm sorry, but like it wasn't a snuff film, Ricky. There were some horror style porn films of the 70s. Yeah.
And so
there's a lot of like trashy horror films too that like straddle the line between like horror film and just like softcore porn from that era. So it might have been something like that. It could have been one of a million, you know, crappy porns or B-movie softcore things.
I believe that I met some of the cult members when I was younger. If in fact we have no accountability or justice, it could be because these people that are supposed to bring us justice and protect and defend the Constitution are corrupted by this cult. I have no fear of them. You know, I only fear Jesus. And so perhaps whoever's investigating these folks needs to go a layer below the top and come up from the mid-level, who are not cult members or been blackmailed by the cult, possibly. Because that's the only explanation I have for why we haven't had accountability and justice for what they've done to America and continue to do to America, while we all just watch. So I share this with the hope that those mid-level people that are investigating at the FBI and the CIA will understand that their superiors perhaps will never give us justice because of the level of blackmail involved. All right, that's off my chest. That feels better. Now you all know. God bless America, and God bless those trying to defeat this cult. In Jesus' name, I give you this message. Amen.
It's time to dismantle this 9,000-year-old Satan-worshipping and blood-drinking paedophile cult.
Well, that's a lot. Okay.
Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the elite, but we can't do it by ourselves. Subscribe to the channel on Rumble, follow me on X, and join the People's Voice Locals community. To support the channel, join our amazing team, and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content.
That's not necessarily true vis-a-vis the religion and cults things. There is difference of behavior and level of control between what is considered a religion and a cult. There's a pretty big difference, actually. I know that I used to say shit like that too, but well, there are a lot of similarities that bear discussion. There are enough distinctions that it is a difference. It is a difference.
I hope to see you there.
I mean, a lot of religions, I will say though, religions tend to start as cults and then grow to the point where they don't have as strong of a structure that's as controlling. But, you know, fundamentalist sects still exist that would be under the banner probably of cult-like behavior. There are absolutely religions that function as a cult, but not every religion is a cult. Yeah, Mormonism and stuff, I would still probably count under a cult because it's a high control group. And you get, like, shunned from the group if you leave it. You know what I mean? But, like, are you gonna tell me that, like, a fucking Christian Universalist is in a cult? No. Like, you know what I mean?
So there are other versions of this. If you were to just Google
America is a high control group. Society is a high control group, man.
Images of JCL
I'm not a part of your system.
There's probably like 3 or 4 different versions of the JCL. So there are other versions of this. If you were to just Google images of JCL removals, there's probably like 3 or 4 different versions of the JCL removal out. But this is one that I designed after I had done about 1,000 JCL removals. So this is almost exactly what I see when I remote in. It starts with the Metatronic implant that is in the 12th dimension. What I usually typically see are these little T's that are going in between each strand of the DNA. Sometimes I will see it that everybody has all 12 of them. They're like fully plugged in and there's major artificial matrix.
I don't know what a J-Seal is. She's one of these people that calls herself a light worker. She claims she can, like, clear things from portals or your body. So whatever this J-Seal is, she thinks it's something bad that's been placed in your body and that she can remove it using psychic energy.
Matrices running up underneath their feet. They're tapped into wormhole systems. They're tapped into fallen systems. They got wormholes open up in their field.
You don't want that. You don't want wormholes opening up in your field.
How can we get, oh, sorry. Cheryl says, how can we get great full color copies? Well, there should be, the copies that are uploaded onto Thinkific should be mostly like full resolution. Maybe a color printer.
How can I get color copies of this? Maybe a color printer? Cthulhu Flower, thanks for a 7-stream streak, says, Christianity started as a blood magic cult and has evolved into a religion that mostly hides the blood magic and provides cover for many subgroup cults. Yeah. Amber Pretzels with 34 months says, also, hi, Hannah, I got the job I applied for. Hell yeah, good for you. Congrats.
Whatever you need to do.
Jehovah's Seal, apparently. Oh, yeah, on the Lightworkers website. Questions. J-Seal, Jehovian Seal removal. What are seals? You all know about the 7 seals in the Bible. They're not the 7 Jehovian seals within the physical body. The 7 seals, and you can read the passages that are described within the Bible, are metaphors for what these seals represent. The first 6 seals have been opened, and the 7th seal is about to open. I fucking love Ingmar Bergman! A small group has worked on clearing the energies within and around the first 6 seals and the effect they had upon Earth. They had worked on opening the 7th seal as to bring it into awareness and consciousness of the Earth, and bring in the energies that allow for the opening of this seal as it will affect everyone on Earth. These are the 7 seals, but there are more seals that are within you, around you, and within many different dimensions. The real friends were the seals we made along the way. Yes. You've heard of SEAL Team 6? This is SEAL Team 7, which is better by 1. Math. Terrence Howard taught me that. Many seals are used to block something of 2, not release something, or to release something at a specific point in time. Jehovian seals only come into action when the human starts to integrate higher frequencies within the physical body. They are not doorways or portals. I feel like I'm not getting any clearer on any of this. Like, there's words, and I'm saying the words, but it's not clearing anything up for me. H-Bird says, I found the 6th seal. It seems too out of breath to be dangerous.
Ah! 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 Ah!
If reincarnation is real, I hope I get the next life as a seal. That seems pretty chill. Just hang out on fucking ice floats and eat penguins. It's gonna be so goddamn boss. Unstable Deadbeat says, no one told me there was going to be math.
If I can try to get better versions of it, if they're not coming out okay, I'll see what I have. But let me know how they come out when you download them. So yeah, but then sometimes I'll see it where
But then
it's
a polar bear eats you. Wrong hemisphere, Phoenix. Wrong hemisphere.
not all plugged in. So there'll be different...
I will get eaten by an orca, though, but I've prepared by watching the film Orca, the Killer Whale.
strands that they're plugged into.
There are seals in the north, but I said I wanted to eat penguins. And penguins are only in the south.
And so that's usually what I read. So when you first tune in, you're going straight to the Metatronic implant. You're kind of looking at the health and the quality of the DNA, and you're seeing, what strands is this all plugged into. And that can also signify a lot of things as you're scanning and reading. Let's say they only got it plugged into 3, 4, 5, and 6. Well, then that's kind of telling you where they've really been invaded, where they're going to have the most issues. And if you know what those dimensions mean, then you're going to know dimensionally,
How will I guarantee southern birth? In the afterlife, I'll negotiate it. Have you guys ever seen Defending Your Life? It'll be like that. Instead of a trial, it's like a negotiation. Lennon Cat says, I prepare for it by watching Free Willy. Everyone knows that wild animals will just pick up on my positive vibes. You ever seen Flipper? More like Flipper.
What's going on there, and you can kind of work through that with your client more. This really ties down through all of the strands. So as you remove the Metatronic implant, you're going to want to also focus on some DNA repair as well. What is the big flower of light, or big flower looks like an umbilical cord? Yeah, this is the Metatronic implant. This is the Metatronic seal.
Obviously.
This is how I've seen it visually. So this is what I've put in my diagram. I have also seen it
You did miss the Jack Black part, unfortunately.
As a holographic geometry or architecture that's superimposed into the flower of life. So if you're kind of remote viewing someone's solar plexus, and you can see the crystic spirals of the flower of life emanating out, and if that's degraded, or that's completely hijacked or siphoned, or it's not even there, or it looks dark, or it looks like something's inside of it, that's also a Metatronic implant as well. Yeah, big old Metatronic worm. Yeah, basically. It not only ties up here, but it also ties up down up underneath the feet. And then there's going to be corded grid structures to Metatronic grids as well, because they're walking through a Metatronic reality, because it is installed, it is plugged in.
Okay, none of that meant anything, so that's good. Real quick, I'm gonna run and use the bathroom. Don't go anywhere. While I'm gone, Cher will tell you about, the 7th seal. That's appropriate. Call back. Alright, be right back. Mrs. I don't like fantasy. I have a fantasy section. I feel like when you guys hear I don't like something, it means I've never seen a single film or don't like a single film in that genre. I probably own more fantasy films than most people own films. Like, for me, not liking a genre means I can probably only, like, name 20 movies in the genre I like. It doesn't mean I hate it. Like, it just means my fantasy section is probably about as big as these two, like, sections of this shelf, whereas this shelf is my entire sci-fi section. You know what I mean? I don't hate it. I just, you know, I have more of an interest for sci-fi and horror. Is Star Wars sci-fi or fantasy? It's sci-fi. It's definitely science fantasy, but that's a subgenre of sci-fi. It's just soft sci-fi. Oh fuck, Hannah mentions Blu-rays! I'm trash! I'm trash! Anyway, Hannah mentions Blu-rays on the bingo card. I'm a nerd, very true. Okay, let's see what else we got.
Hi everyone, Daniel Scranton here, wanting to talk to you about light languages and give you a brief demonstration. I've been speaking light languages for over 5.5 years. I've never really done much with them in terms of speaking them intentionally. It's more...
We had vibes-based conspiracy yet? I don't think so.
And something that's happened to me at various times, and when it happens, I always think it's cool and fun, but...
Sorry, there's a juggle command. Let me do that. Where are my balls? Bum bum!
Now I want to start using it as a way of teaching people how to channel, and also as a way for me to connect more deeply with the beings that I channel, because I feel like light languages bypass the mind, and they're a very pure way of expressing the energy that we're connected to when we channel different beings. So today my intention is going to be to channel the Arcturians I've been working with and channel a light language from them that will be new to me because I've not done this before. And so hopefully when you listen to this...
Is this his version of speaking in tongues or something? Ah, you... Yes.
You receive it in a...
guessed, yes. See, basically this is his version of speaking in tongues. But instead of claiming it's from God or the Holy Spirit or some other deity, he claims it's language coming from, like, aliens or space or something.
A way you don't have to, like, interpret it into English. You don't have to try and make sense of it in our language or any language.
Yeah, English makes no sense, right? I'm sure his thing will make way more sense.
But just let it sink in, let it hit you in the way that it will. Okay, here we go. Oh, tiki tiki, oh, nakanamo nakata, oh, tiki toko, oh, toko tiki tiki tiki, ah, oh, tiki, ah, no, ni, otoko tana, poko, oh, tiki, punana manana, poko to, tinning in the rabat, throwing summoning, ring at all, getting more, ah, bodori bloody, some kito, parapatapa, Pukutupoko atakamanama. Pakatapoko tika tiki tuku 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 nakana tokoto. Pakatamanana pokoto to akatatatata pokoto to ninekatapa pokoto pokoto piki titi apakatapo
apakatapotopotata.
Niki
kati tutati kaktotuka.
Hanaka poko, pakata poko.
Takanono potato tikato potato tinton pop.
Tiki tiki to no makata ko o nti ti ti onan pa po po ti 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 na 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 mana ta po ko ta na 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 ti ti to ada na 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 po ko to apakata po ko ti ti ti
beatboxer from Timu
na 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 po ko ta na po ko na 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 po ko o ni te na na o to a po ko na na ma na a po na 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 o. So, as you may have heard there, towards the end it became very sing-songy, and that's something else to consider, is singing a light language, because we access a different part of our brains when we sing than when we speak. So that might be a gateway for you to start speaking them. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you for watching. Blessings to you in 2017, and go to danielscranton.com and sign up for my daily messages, and you'll receive emails also that let you know when I'm doing the next of those light language classes that I'm teaching now.
Are the emails going to be in English? Because I'd prefer them be in the other thing.
All right. Thanks again. Bye for now.
I just want to point out that this guy's been doing this for years. Like, his oldest video is from 14 years ago, and he's still posting things 17 hours ago, 18 hours ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago. Truly an incredible man.
Hi everyone, this is Daniel Scranton. This is my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it. And now I'm going to channel for you.
Sorry, is that the dial tone for the aliens? Hoolery Smoolery, thanks for following. Yeah, start doing this thing, whatever that is. That'll do it. Made you look. It does sound a little bit like he's doing the throat singing thing.
Would not consciously,
there we go,
at times, ascended master.
Let's get to the part where he talks.
Blessings! We are Thymus. We are the collective of ascended masters.
Oh, that was the hold music. That's their planet's version of hold music. Okay.
We understand that at times in your
life, looks like he's jerking off at Draft.
Lives, you feel that the challenges in front of you are challenges you never would have chosen. And it is true that the you that you are in that very moment would not consciously choose that challenge or those challenges. But as a soul, you see the bigger picture, and you can see how the little you is going to grow, expand, evolve, and become more of the true self by meeting that challenge.
This G says sounds like when I get food poisoning from Chinese food. See, that's interesting. Chinese food. Most people would have gone for the low-hanging fruit of a Taco Bell joke. You went Chinese food. I respect that.
This is one of the ways people try to talk themselves out of the truth that they are the creator of their reality. It is by looking at their reality and saying, there's no way I would create this. Sometimes it is also true that you are creating.
Your mom calls it Taco Hell because it gives her diarrhea. I'm gonna be honest, I don't get the Taco Bell diarrhea meme. Like, what are you people buying at Taco Bell? In fairness, I never get anything spicy. I can't do spice, like, at all. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe the spicy stuff at Taco Bell is, like, just shoots through you. I don't know. I've never had the problem. Just eat the chicken quesadilla, and I'm happy.
Very unconscious way. You are not deliberately creating the challenge, but you are creating it nonetheless through the words, thoughts, beliefs, actions, and feelings that you are.
The low quality meat, from what I've gathered. Well, they changed the meat years ago, so it's not bad now.
Are
for a fast food place.
Regularly entertaining in your beingness. Usually, the challenge you are facing that is unwanted will echo back to those thoughts, words, actions, beliefs, and feelings. And when you
study this in more detail, yeah, someone buy us all Taco Bell. Taco Bell for everyone in chat.
Find the connection.
Oh, we can't do that? Never mind.
Between them, then you can recognize that this...
Phoenix says one of the new Black Mirror episodes had a woman literally implanted with software that makes her narrate advertisements randomly, and it's hilarious. She literally started doing it without realizing it during sex with her husband, once for lube, then when he got weirded out for ED. It's not a huge plot point, so it's not spoiling much. Yes, we watched the first episode of the new season of Black Mirror last night, and we had to stop at that first one, because it hit hard. There's a part of it that, like, there's a lot of things, medical debt in general. There's also a plot point about one of the characters has to go online and do embarrassing things to make money and humiliate themselves on the internet in order to just get by. And I can't tell you why, but man, that just hit hard for some reason.
Was a creation of yours, and one that you took part in.
Hey, non-binary, how's it going?
Without realizing you were doing it. Now, how do you grow from the challenge?
That said, it was a great episode. If you're into Black Mirror, it's the best episode in probably 3 or 4 seasons. And I've liked Netflix, like Black Mirror, all right, but this is just truly a great episode that reminds me of the first couple seasons. We'll never make you drink pee, though, or dental surgery. Give it 5 years. We'll see where the economy's at and see if you're still...
You look for the opportunity for growth.
Episode 3 is good. All right, we're gonna watch more tonight, so...
You look for an opportunity to change something about yourself. Something you're thinking. Something you've been feeling. You start by accepting your own creation as it is, and then you wonder, how does this serve me? How am I supposed to grow through this?
Okay, I think that's enough of this guy. I think we get the bit. That's fine. Let's see what's next. Oh! Who likes eye parasites? Okay, so if little bugs in people's eyes really ekes you out, maybe don't look at the screen for this one.
Just gonna show you photos and pictures, and then you decide in your corner. So let's see. This is, I think this is. I'm just gonna show the photos of the.
It'll be done in literally 30 seconds, then he won't show it again. So I'll just let you know when we're.
Lizard reptilian. The one.
Don't leave. It's 30 seconds.
So you see the sizes in the palm of the hand, and these are like several screenshots. We might show the video as well if I.
Fine. People are leaving, so I guess I won't watch that video. They ruined it for everyone. All right, we'll move on.
You fully understand the universal truth behind the 369. Your life will transform into divine harmony from the inside out. The
You did say reptilian on the bingo card.
369 is the trinity of vibrational codes, and absorbing it causes a shift in energy. The world responds and conforms to our vibration, shifting
vibes-based conspiracy on the bingo card
to match it. We don't fight and struggle for the desires of our hearts.
The video we skipped, I'll just tell you. Basically, he thought that the high-ranking people in society are secretly being controlled by a parasite that they get through their eyeballs. So that's what that video was about, if anyone's curious.
We simply match the vibration of its attainment, and it comes of its own accord. That is the effortless way. The golden vibration of the 369 is the hand of Midas.
Ryan Cooper says bingo, gonna post it on Discord. All right, I'll check it out.
Which turns everything it touches to gold. The vibration of the 369 turns everything it touches into harmony. After watching this video, you will have a clear understanding of how the unseen universe operates and how to use it to your advantage to obtain your desires effortlessly. If you only knew the magnificence of the
Let me know when you posted Orion and what channel you posted in.
6 and 9. Then you would have the key to the universe. Man is a microcosm of the universe.
Let me take a look at that bingo card. We have Mark of the Beast, for understanding of Eastern religion philosophy, free space, vibes-based conspiracy, and you're living in fear. That is indeed a win, Orion Cooper. I will write down your name, because you are the bingo winner, and it looks like you already have a membership. Long list. There it is. Give it to random? Alrighty, will do. I will gift a membership on YouTube.
Universe.
So that's our official bingo winner of today. We can still play for fun, but that is officially the winner. That by one. There we go. That should go to someone random. Cool beans. See who got that. Hey, Just a Peach was gifted a membership. Nice.
Key to the universe is the 369. It is also the key to the human being, since man is a microcosm of the universe. The universe, like a computer software, is run on numbers. The numeral arrangement or sequences of numbers result in what is created. We see this in the film Matrix, where behind the scenes,
the Matrix on the bingo card.
Reality is in fact made up of numbers which form codes. These codes.
Technically, it's not numbers in the Matrix. It's letters, I think, in the Japanese kanji. I don't remember.
Dictate what is seen and how reality is experienced.
Anyway, it's not ones and zeros.
369 is a divine arrangement of numbers which translates to a specific vibration which attracts all good things to itself. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. In other words, vibration, which is at the basis of creation, has a unique...
You can't just say vibration is the basis of creation and, like, expect that to be a statement that is agreed by everyone. You have to justify it.
Makeup tied to it.
The combo of all the Japanese writing systems. Okay.
As the
By the way, the best, hold on. I don't know where my Matrix is. It's up there somewhere. But anyway, the Animatrix is the best Matrix movie. Fight me.
Vibration fluctuates from high to low, positive to negative, Be assured that its numeral equivalence also fluctuates to match it. They are one and the same. They are substance and shadow. They correspond to one another. This is a complex code that would take more time to decipher than most are willing to put in. So suffice it to simplify its understanding by looking at this.
Some of the matrix code is ASCII. I probably said that wrong. I've only ever seen that written. I apologize, programmers. Upside down and backwards. Some of it's Japanese letters upside down and backwards. Gotcha.
Creation through a visual lens. The coding behind a website such as YouTube is only seen by tech professionals, while you enjoy beautiful visual and auditory rendition. In simple terms, a file which contains a coded vibration is
They pronounce it ASCII. There's a coding language people call ASCII. All right, I'll trust you that this isn't a prank.
Extracted, read, and processed by the computer to display its visual interpretation as the video you enjoy. File
Insert joke here, insert key here.
rearranged is life. I learned this from Bro Sanchez. Our life expresses into reality based on the coding or vibration
Storm Screen, thanks for following.
we have inscripted within. In other words, our vibe attracts our life. The closer to the divine ratio your internal coding is, the better the quality of life you enjoy. There is no clearer example of this than through simatics. A vibratory frequency is put through a plate and it gives rise to a physical manifestation based on the coding. This invisible...
It's not coding, it's physics, and I don't know why you would try to create an analog for those things unless you'd already decided that there was an intent behind it and it's basically a backdoor to try and justify a belief in creationism?
Arrangement of matter always corresponds to the vibration and its coding.
Again, it's not coding, it's just repeatable because it's physics.
A change in vibration is a change in the arrangement of matter. The vibration of the 369 gives rise to harmonious structures. When we integrate this vibration,
Calling it harmonious is a subjective value judgment that you as a human are giving it. It's not an actual quality of the pattern. That's your subjective judgment of a pattern that means nothing outside of your own perception.
Vibration into ourselves, our life also harmonizes itself into a beautiful structure. Things begin to fall into place of their own accord. By raising our vibration, by shifting our energy, frequency, and vibration, our coding begins to climb to reach the 369. This is how we create with the 369. So how to raise our vibration is what needs to be studied. The world is a mirror reflecting your numeral...
Excuse me, I was told the world is a vampire.
Makeup. It is a mirror reflecting back to you the energy you hold within. Your vibe attracts your life. And the
Oh yeah, uses AI on the bingo card. This is 100% an AI image.
that makes up your vibration.
Gamer G says, I feel like the Terrence Howard math talk on Joe Rogan is spread to conspiracy theorists where they come up with other conspiracies like this making false claims about digital technology. This combined with mostly low-tech literacy amongst the general population makes a recipe for this sort of self-discovered theory math genius conspiracies to grow. In fairness, that was the thing before Terrence Howard. It wouldn't surprise me if it did influence some people just because a lot of people watch the Joe Rogan show, unfortunately. Joe Rogan Experience. But yeah, it's been a thing. He didn't invent it, but he may have helped popularize it a bit.
Or thoughts, inner speech, and actions. Enhance these, and your internal coding rises into more harmonious codes. This translates into a more pleasant reflection in the outer world, which is but a mirror. We change the world by changing ourselves. That's a quote from the Buddha. Be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. The golden vibration is what overcomes...
My ass hurts from sitting under this fucking Bodhi tree. One of the less known quotes of the Buddha.
The world. Christ consciousness is the vibration that rearranges all outer events into harmony. You might say, Alex, this sounds very nice and all, but is it based in reality? After all, none of us want to waste time on false paradigms. You know it's true because we have encountered the same principle in its negative vibration. Many of us are in a continual loop of being stuck in a rut, where no matter what we do, no matter how hard we struggle or grind, we find ourselves right back where we started. Again,
doesn't understand their problem is capitalism on the bingo card.
The grains of sand will always rearrange themselves to conform with the vibration. The same is true with the events in life.
Admittedly, this is neat as fuck. It's an incredibly interesting physical phenomena. The problem is if you take this physical phenomena and try and use it to justify a wide variety of pseudoscientific beliefs that have nothing to do with it, even though you claim it, which is what this guy is doing. Like, it's perfectly fine to look at this and go, oh, that's cool. It is. And understanding it is cool. It's that he's using this as a rhetorical tool to try and push nonsense.
They always revert to match our frequency. If our internal frequency is a negative or 666, no
That's the scary number.
matter how hard we grind, our surrounding will, one way or another, always fall back into resonance. As we begin to raise our vibration, the coding influencing our lives begins to shift to get closer and closer to the golden ratio. When we sufficiently raise our vibration, we enter this golden stream, and life takes us on a grand adventure. It is within this golden current where we begin to experience positive.
We have the P moratorium, so please stop talking about golden streams.
Synchronicities. Good luck is attracted to us, and life becomes blissful. The opposite would be a tarnished vibration, where everything in life goes wrong and falls apart no matter how hard you try. Imagine fighting against the grains of sands to individually place them into a harmonious pattern while a negative vibration is running through the simatics plate. Your work would always be undone, and it becomes self-defeating. We gain command of life through the harnessing of vibration, not through changing each individual circumstance in our life. We change our vibe, and the circumstances in our lives change of their own accord to match our...
Sorry, this is very hypnotic, just looking at the spiral. Jesus Christ. Alright, moving on.
(1817). We are told that this is the original Christ Church. New South Wales.
Oh no.
Australia. 1817. This was
Toreador with a link to the Yellow River. Ha 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 ha. It's funny because of the pee-pee.
our construction. We are told that the initial structure...
I'm worried where this is gonna go, because if anyone knows about Australia and the Christchurch shooting, kind of worried that this is the first thing he's bringing up is this goddamn church.
Had structural issues. I've never seen a church from 1300 that has structural issues. But after 500 years of evolving and advancing, the masterminds of 1817 make churches with structural issues. And then they had to knock...
You think that there were no other structures with structural issues at the time? Why do you think that?
Knock the whole thing down. We are told in 1884, they just had to make way for this palace. And this is where things get weird. The foundation stone for this palace church was laid in 1868. But then construction doesn't begin for another 24 years. They put the foundation stone down, and then nobody did anything for 24 years.
Yeah, if that's accurate, the project probably fell apart for some reason. They lost funding or something. I don't know the specifics of it, but you could probably look into it. I don't know what to tell you.
Are we sure? Or is this a slip up by the narrator? Let's go further. Demolish.
The narrator. He thinks history has a singular narrator. Jesus Christ.
The original church in 1884. And then just knocking this thing out in 10 years. From 1892 to 1902.
10 years seems like a pretty reasonable period of time to put that thing up. In fact, that actually seems a little long for me.
And of course, there were no structural issues. Because in my opinion, they found this structure, and we know this. But let's prove it.
You don't know this, you think it. You just said you think it, we know it. No, those things are mutually exclusive. You think it, you don't know it.
Logically, why would they knock the first church down in
Because it had structural issues. You already went over that.
1884? Why?
Toreador says the first one they built sank into the swamp. The second one they built burned down, fell over, and then sank into the swamp. But the third one stayed up, hey! And nothing bad happened at Christ Church ever again.
Why would they do this? Especially when the next church...
Just Darce says, the world experienced a period of economic downturn in the 1880s that included the Long Depression and the Depression of 1882 to 1885. Okay.
Wasn't done yet. In fact, we're told that the construction as of 1884, it hadn't even started yet. Did they already have this palace church? And that's why, in 1884, it was okay to knock the first one down. And this story that we've been given, that construction began in 1892 and finished in 1902, is a lie. Pretend you're in the 1800s. Who here would...
All right. I smell bad. And I'm itchy, and I... Never mind.
Knock their house down, and then have no house to go...
I have neurosyphilis, and I don't even know it.
...move into. This isn't logical at all, and we know this. Especially when the construction hadn't even started on the new one yet. And then this whole thing just gets crazy and takes this whole thing to another level. When we have found documented accounts of a massive network of tunnels connecting all the buildings in this area of people that have actually been in the tunnels. On a forum in 2023, we found individuals talking about this.
Gamer G says, can't wait to see if there's conspiracies years from now about taking away our miracle material, about why so many asbestos removals happened. I just feel like it's coming eventually. Oh, my sweet summer child, honey, that already exists. There's already people who think that removing lead and asbestos is a conspiracy. It's already a thing.
Location, stating that they've
covered them before.
Found out about the tunnel entrance near the James Fletcher Hospital that goes underneath the entire city. James Fletcher Hospital. So I pinned this location, and let's see where this tunnel connects to. Another person says, go near Meriwether High School, and you can go through a drain.
One of those comes up in the Denver airport. It comes right up on the pedestal of that big, scary horse statue.
Meriwether High School, pinned. Over Stockton Bridge, at the old military base, endless tunnels and rooms. Pinned. A massive amount of tunnels in this location. Under the houses to the left, a fort and tunnel there. Pinned. Saying,
does he know that, like, this doesn't have to be a conspiracy? There are cities and stuff that have, like, tunnels underneath them. That's not a secret. Like, a lot of cities have tunnels underneath them, depending on how you define a tunnel. Like, you know what I mean? There are old cities that have catacombs. There are cities that have, like, tunnels that were dug for, like, subways. Like, I don't... Bittergrin says, I think you're conflating Christchurch, a city in New Zealand, with this specific church in Australia. I am. Thank you for correcting me.
it's been sealed off, with the next person stating, someone has now sledgehammered a hole in the brickwork, and you can get in still. Under the Newcastle East Primary School, it was accessible through a trap door and crawl space, where the kids used to get down there all the time. Trapdoors in elementary schools? I believe we've shown this before. The tunnels need to be exposed. Why do the tunnels connect to elementary schools? Who built the...
I don't know why. They connect all over the place, I'd imagine. Like in Michigan, over in Lansing, on the campus of MSU, Michigan State University, Pretty famously, there was a story decades ago, because there's a series of tunnels underneath the entire, like, university area that are, like, steam tunnels. And decades ago, a kid went under there. Kids used to go in there all the time. By kids, I mean college kids, not, like, literal children. College kids would use them and go around through them, but then a kid died in there decades ago. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, like, there are tunnels just underneath some places for a variety of historical or practical purposes.
These buildings. Who created these tunnels? Why do they connect to elementary schools? Why do they connect to hospitals? Why do they connect to churches? Places that innocent people under the age of 18 go. This is a network of tunnels, and they've been
He's gonna insinuate that it's to kidnap children. Okay.
been here for a very long time. We are not told the truth about them, and they are in every single city. And who is John Horbury Hunt, the supposed designer of the Old World Palace Church that has a tunnel connected to it? As you can see, I've already clicked on his name. I wouldn't be bringing his name up unless there was something shocking. We are just getting started. Welcome to episode 119 of my lunch break. I hope you're all having a great day, and if you're new, welcome.
Parteria on the bingo card?
What if your morning coffee didn't just wake you up? What if it actually made you younger? That's why...
You guys want some Fountain of Youth coffee? Got such good fucking beans, you won't believe it.
1775.
These beans will make you so young. That's incredible. That is truly incredible.
Created Rejuvenate, the first coffee infused with KAKG. This is a clinically proven ingredient to fight aging at the cellular level, and you're still getting that pure 1775 quality. Single origin beans, small batch roasting, and specialty grade coffee, ethically sourced from small farms. But now each cup...
Is this the same coffee as the quartering? It might not be the same coffee, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's another white label company that's being co-opted by, you know, someone targeting conspiracy theorists, basically.
Fires up your metabolism. It boosts your energy and turns back the clock by up to 8 biological years in just 7 months. Yes, studies prove it. I'm not making this up. 1775 Rejuvenate officially drops April 15th, but you can lock it in your pre-order right now. And
the coffee drops in 4 days, chat.
Every single dollar that you spend, it all still enters you to win that Cybertruck. And
oh yeah, they know their target audience. They know who their marks are. How are people who would be fooled by this not incredibly embarrassed by everything that they choose to be?
and $30,000 in cash. So head over to 1775coffee.com. Use promo code LUNCHBREAK.
You saw one IRL and it really is the stupidest looking thing. I've seen several, and I don't know, do they know everyone looks at them and goes like, wow, what a dipshit. Like, they just think you're an idiot for having that car.
For 15% off.
Speaking of the quartering coffee, did you hear he's like 400,000 in debt from it? How is he in debt? It's white label coffee. He's like a step away from fucking drop shipping. How is he losing money on it?
And start drinking your age away. This is the
He deserves it. That's just funny.
Best coffee in the world, and it tastes amazing. Go to 1775coffee.com and use promo code LUNCHBREAK. Get 15% off right now. And I want to thank all of our sponsors over on Patreon. Thank you to FlatEarthDave.com. You can check out his app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac app. I'll put the link right in the description.
Oh yeah, that's that Flat Earth app that steals your information or lets everyone else get your information through the, what's the thing? Why am I blanking? Damn, I can't remember the thing.
You'll see the My Lunch Break playlist
Yes, Flat Earth on bingo.
right here. The app is awesome. Thank you to
According to him, it's all in-house. He's lying. He's lying.
Rebecca K, David and
In my opinion.
Jerry Ferguson, Chuck Templeton, Joy Lee, Stephanie Nolan, the Burlesons, Suez KC, Edwin Rice, Helm. Channel out a lot. John Horbury.
Trey says it's really funny. He ended up dumping a huge amount of debt in order to purchase machines to put his packaging on it, and B, because he went so deep in debt for the machines, he can't purchase the white label stuff anymore.
Hunt.
How does he lose money? He's got the easiest grift ever. He just has to make 3 videos a day calling shit woke, and he somehow ruined that? What is he doing? He literally could have been a millionaire. What's he doing?
You are about to be exposed. The supposed
He had to pay for shipping equipment himself and put it all on credit cards. God, that was stupid.
master architect of the 1800s did not
Did he get grifted by the company that's doing it for him? That'd be funny.
have any formal training as an architect.
The grifter gets grifted.
In the traditional sense, he did not have a formal degree in architecture. He was originally trained as a carpenter in Boston, and then in a short time.
Yeah, back in the day, a lot of people did autodidactic stuff. The formal schooling that we often take for granted these days wasn't in place everywhere, so a lot of people had to teach themselves, or they learned through apprenticeships often.
He was off designing massive churches, cathedrals, schools, and civic buildings, teaming up with Edmund Blackett, the most prominent architect of the time, with 0 documented accounts on how these two even met. They just teamed up and constructed palaces, and this...
I mean, they had a work relationship. Do we need to know specifically? Like, most of human history isn't documented. We don't know most of how things happened. A lot of things happen every day to every person.
This isn't even close to the strangest part.
They said one of his partners dropped him over his political beliefs. Fucking based.
Mr. Hunt didn't have any architecture training. And then you take a look into Edmund Blackett, a cloth merchant, and also has 0 formal education in architecture or engineering. What is going on? And then you have to start
They're on a penal colony trying to build a building. They're doing their best.
asking, did these two guys really build these buildings with no training?
Yeah, probably.
Designing hundreds of buildings? Or were they simply
Be clear, no formal training. I would imagine they were reading books and shit about
into them? Thinking logically, 2 people in the 1800s that were never trained in architecture or engineering would not be able to build this. It is completely illogical. We have 2 key figures, Edmund Blackett and John Horbury Hunt, who supposedly built some of the most complex structures in Australia. Yet neither one had proper architectural training. A carpenter and a cloth merchant, knocking out palaces. This is insane.
Not a palace, it's a church. Doesn't even look like a palace. Are you saying just because it's made with stone? And it has a tower?
Designing massive Gothic structures. This was just an easy task in the 1800s. And when they
wasn't easy.
got done with their palace, they would go home at night and they would lay on some hay. How does a cloth merchant, Edmund Blackett, where he just moved to Australia from England in 1842, and then within a few months, with no training, just starts knocking out palaces, creating
Probably because they were quite desperate for people to do work.
some of Australia's most important buildings. Take a look at this. We are told a man with no training designed this building and got it done in a time period of wooden wheels and dirt roads. This is
If road dirt, how building? If horses, how building? No understand.
Sydney University in the 1870s. Please look at the wooden fences. That was the construction of
If you have a wooden fence, fuck, I have a wooden fence. Today. Like, is that an indicator that I'm living in the past because I have a wooden fence? What? Like, the first industrial revolution had already happened. We're talking about the late 1800s. Gamer G says palace. Ooh, White Castle. I do like White Castle. White Castle hurts my stomach, but it's always worth it.
At the time, those stairs look like they were dug out of the dirt. This is crazy. And it
No, do you know? Oh my god, has he never seen stairs like that where it's like dirt on a hill and they like build stairs into it? Oh, Jesus. Bittergrin with 100 bits says, from Wikipedia about Blackett, quote, in about 1837, although lacking formal training, Blackett began work on the Stockton and Darlington Railway as a surveyor. This was the period of rapid expansion of the railways and in railway engineering and innovation. As a railway surveyor, one of Blackett's jobs would have been the design of railway stations. He continued in Yorkshire until 1841, taking every possible opportunity to draw ancient buildings and their details, which included spending his, and then it continues. So he did. He learned stuff on the job in England before he even came to Australia. He didn't have formal education, but he learned on the job, probably under someone else. Worked a lot that way back then.
in all honesty, it doesn't even look like.
Have these people never been outside their houses? They seem literally ignorant about everything. I have also noticed that they often... We all have gaps in our understanding, right? These people, though, when they have a gap in understanding, assume they're being tricked. They don't just assume, oh, I didn't know that, or I don't understand that. They assume someone is intentionally obfuscating something from them. So I don't know if it's necessarily about the amount of things they don't know, but more so how they handle gaps in their own understanding of the world. They look at gaps in their own understandings and they view them as suspect. They can't just not know something. It's gotta be that it's suspicious.
Like they were able to fully dig them out. They stopped halfway and just walked on the top of the dirt the rest of the way. These are the finders of our timeline, our current civilization. This building's incredible and it's still here today. And this isn't even the only building that looks out of place at Sydney University. The Maclaurin Hall, Australia. You have some explaining to do. It's overgrown in multiple places, like it was just left out there for 100 years. This is such a weird picture. Here it is from the other side in 1910, with dirt roads again, telling us that this one only took 8 years to build and opened in 1909.
8 years is a long time to build a building.
This picture
like, it's
is
not as long as, like, the Middle Ages, where it might take a century or something to build, like, a cathedral, but, like, it's still not nothing.
A year after they finished it? This is crazy. This is not a brand new building. Edmund Blackett had multiple jobs in his life that required training, where he had none. No training for these jobs. Being an architect...
Not none. Again, he probably learned on the job, as someone else pointed out from his earlier career before he came to Australia.
And having no training was the second time in his life that he did this. The first time that he did this, where he had no training and did a job, was in 1837, where Blackett lacked formal training, of course, and began work.
Formal training?
For the Stockton and Darlington Railway as a surveyor. A surveyor.
Oh wait, this is the part that he read, literally. As a railway surveyor, one of Blackett's jobs would have been the design of the railway stations. It literally says that, and he's just not going to read it. He's just not going to read that part. He's just not going to read that part.
Is the sign.
It's literally right there. It's literally, he looked at it. He must have read it. He had to have read it. It was in the part he cut out and edited into the video. He had to have read it. I'm confused.
science of determining the terrestrial two-dimensional or three-dimensional positions of points in the distances and angles between them. We have a completely made-up story here, in my opinion. This is insane and literally impossible. Could you even imagine today anyone just going and knocking out this church in 10 years? A guy and his brand new...
You could build that in 10 years. The biggest issue would probably be in getting permits and everything and making sure everything's up to code. But after that, if you just had to... If you're talking about literally the day you break ground, you could build this in 8 years. It wouldn't even be difficult. You could build this in probably a year and a half.
Pal, just walking over to a
Depending on how much money you had and how many workers you wanted to throw at it, of course.
good spot in the grass.
The Empire State Building was built in 1 year. Well, there you go. There's something. That is a little different because that's, you know, using like beams and stuff and not masonry, but yeah.
Neither one of them have training in architecture. Zero training. One guy turns to the other and says, "You know what? I think today is the day that we put a Gothic palace together. But I have no training. How are we going to know what to do?
Also, I don't know if that's Gothic. I think that's Baroque.
I don't have any friends. I'm not from
Bittergrin says, a guy who was taught how to build railway stations and had studied a lot of ancient buildings and churches in England. Yes, I can imagine it.
here. And how many people are we going to need to build this whole thing? I know nothing about structural
More
engineering.
understanding of architecture on the bingo card.
I haven't taken a single class learning about load-bearing capacities. How do you make the perfect foundation? We know nothing about weight distribution. Snap out of it. We don't need to document this stuff. We are Donkeys Incorporated, with the exact number of workers involved in the construction of...
H-Bird says, thus do I refute thee. Oh, one-man cathedral. Neat. Has he literally just been building this cathedral himself for years? How long has he been working on it? That's crazy. $50 He started when he was 10? Gotta be a crazy story behind this. That's incredible. Someone should send that to the conspiracy theorist guy.
of the Christ Church Cathedral in Newcastle, Australia.
Oh, you were joking. Okay.
Not
'Cause I was gonna say, what, did his family own land and he's like obsessed? Like what?
documented. We are actually told this.
There are contractors helping. Still very cool.
We're told that two guys just met up and had zero training, and they built the most incredible structures in Australia, and they didn't document anything. How many men? How many horses were needed? Like we just talked about.
They wouldn't... I guess I don't understand. Why do you think they would write that down? Historically, a lot of things aren't written down just because they're not doing it for you. They're doing it for some sort of, like, bureaucratic purposes. Like, financial records are often kept for, like, tax purposes or stuff like that. So you'll have that. Criminal records and court stuff will be found. Stuff that people had a reason to write down. There's a lot of stuff involving, like, trade and stuff, because, again, those kind of things would be written down. A lot of quantities and stuff. They're not... Why would anyone write down the specifics of them building this building? I understand that to us, to people in the modern day, in particular people into architecture, that would be interesting. But people contemporarily, at the time, didn't think to themselves, oh, we're building this building, we should write down how we did it. Why would they think anyone would care?
In episode 118. This is insane. Massive flaws in this narrative. The narrative that they sat us down in those chairs as kids. They put us in these classrooms all over the world. They tell us that this is the truth. That men with zero training constructed palaces.
Not zero training, no formal training. Again, they were trained apprentice style.
With wooden wheels horses and wagons would just build stone palaces over and over and over. And there's never a mistake. From people that have...
There's not never a mistake. You literally went over one where there was a mistake today. That kind of thing happens all the time.
Have no training. We are not told the truth.
Trey says, also historically, stuff like this would be considered private knowledge amongst tradesmen in specific arrangement, because if everyone knows how you did this impressive thing, then they can replicate it. Yeah.
About who actually put these buildings here on our map. And this pattern continues when we see that John Hunt was also in charge of getting the St. Peter's Cathedral in Armadale, Australia done, where yet again, we get the same exact story that likely involved a considerable number of workers, while the exact records detailing the total workforce are not available. This is not thousands of years ago. This is 1871 to 1938, we are told. How many people? No idea. What about the other palace? No clue.
He's very mad.
Don't know. There was lots of training for the architect. No, actually none. So John Hunt was just off building palaces, and then he takes a shot at a house. And this is the house we are told that he built. It's a nice house, but it's not even close to the mastermind architecture that we've seen from him today. It is not.
Yeah, it's a house, not a cathedral. They're not supposed to look the same. This is a thing the Tartaria people do too. They'll be like, why don't individual residential houses look like the Notre Dame Cathedral? And it's like, they're different things. What?
Not the same style at all.
Yes, correct. They're different buildings. They're different buildings? Do you think architects can only build in one specific style?
Burling House, where it seems like we had an issue here. Oh, what is this? Destroyed by a suspicious fire in 2015, where residents are now furious as developer begins demolition of the $18.5 million mansion. We all know that the fires are still happening today. We see it all the time, and we report live on X. Thank you to all.
Yes, fires happen. We have whole departments to deal with them.
All of our badge members, all of our Patreons, and every single subscriber. You are all awesome, and thank you for liking all the videos. I appreciate it.
Speaking of Patreon, this upcoming Sunday, we are going to have another Patreon/YouTube member live stream. We're going to finish Project Metal Beast that we had to end a little early because I had a tornado warning, so I had to cut off the last stream a little quick. Then we'll watch another movie. Haven't decided what yet, but yeah, it'll be fun.
Appreciate all of you. We are just getting started. We have a lot of awesome stuff planned. We are on YouTube. And in my opinion, like I've stated, these are old world structures, and they're just pinned to these two individuals. Blackett, pinned as the guy to get the St. Stephen's Anglican Church in Newton, Sydney completed. With a 140-foot spire, it was completed in just 3 years, without a power tool. Are you still on the fence? St. Matthew's Anglican Church, Albury. Edmund Blackett knocked this one out in just 2 years. In 1857 to 18...
It's a nice enough looking little church, but it's not even that big. Like, it's you know, for this kind of thing, for a little Anglican church, cute enough. It's fine. Is that ridiculous that they put this up in 2 years? Not. It's not that big.
1859, with no training necessary, and suffered a devastating fire in 1991. St. John's Bishop Thorpe Glebe, where the two pals teamed up for this one. We're told Blackett and Hunt got together one night over a cup of tea and just planned this thing out in their heads. No blueprints were necessary. No money, no horses, and no people. No power tools and no training. This is what we're told in the mainstream narrative. Undocumented. And in 2 years, this thing was done. Between 18...
I don't know why he says that about no power tools. You might not have had power hand tools, although there were, like, hand-powered tools, drills, and stuff that you could mechanically use. There were industrial places, so, like, for the hewing of stone, it would have already been pre-cut at some other place, probably using some sort of mechanism or machine, and then those would be brought. there were still power tools in use. There was, again, the Industrial Revolution, the first one had already happened. So, like, they would have already had hewn stones and stuff from wherever that stuff was coming from, and then they just put it all together. I'm not saying that's, you know, a small feat. I wouldn't want to do it, but he's acting like this shit is impossible.
In 1868 and 1870, the church was done. And here forever.
Yeah, Spokane Dog Band, Trey mentioned that.
Oh, wait, no? No? Not forever? No, not forever. 1972, it was damaged by a fire and then demolished. Okay, so not forever. Then we have such a
Yeah, nothing lasts forever, man.
strange thing happen where Blackett was pinned to this mansion. And was this a mansion from the old world in Australia, where they tell us that he started the project in 1865? But the exact duration of the construction will forever be a mystery and is not specified in available records. How is that possible?
What do you mean, how is it like, what does he think the world is? Like, is he so used to the internet age that he doesn't remember that for most of human history, most knowledge was just not at your fingertips or available to you? Like, this is like insane that he thinks this is how the world works, that like, oh, we just have access to every document of everything that ever happened, right? And it's suspicious when you don't. It's the opposite of how it works.
A mansion that costed millions of dollars in today's time by supposedly the most incredible architect of the time. Undocumented completion date. Are you sure?
Andronigus Khan with 100 bits says, also, just because the information isn't online doesn't mean it wasn't written down. If any records exist, they're probably in the basement files of an old municipal building somewhere. Yeah, a lot of that stuff is archived. The particulars of these buildings probably not, but a lot of records just don't exist online.
And unlike most...
Some universities do scan in slowly their archives over time and allow people to look at them online, which is pretty cool for some documents and stuff, but, you know, a lot of stuff still exists in basements and filing cabinets.
Homes of the time. The mansion had indoor plumbing. Very interesting. A palace that I believe was found in a place that I would...
That's a manor. Again, he just likes to call everything a palace. That's like a manor.
Love to go and see today. I would love to go inside this incredible mansion. I would love to do this, but I can't.
Just a Peach with $1 says steam power was a thing and red tape wasn't as much of a thing. Yeah.
And I can't do this because, like we have seen so many times, the old world structures are destroyed. By the 1950s, many of the once grand mansions of Darling Point. Are we reading that this is multiple old world mansions and not just one?
Yeah, it was probably a neighborhood or an area that had a similar socioeconomic class.
These were all being demolished to make way for apartments, and Retford Hall would be among the demolished, destroyed. And this is why our research is so important. This community, we are showing the structures from the old world in hopes that we can all keep an eye on them, showing that they are so much more than what we've been told, constructed by an incredibly advanced previous civilization that had tools, they had proper training, they understood how to build a palace, and it was all over the world. The evidence is clear. We have been lied to. Today, we dismantled the official narrative piece by piece and exposed the
Yes, my research said by a non-researcher on the bingo card.
impossible. Untrained men, supposedly building palaces with no blue...
Not untrained, not formally trained. They didn't go to college. That doesn't mean they had no training. It didn't say that.
No records, and no logical explanation. Gothic cathedrals, sprawling mansions, and intricate structures. They're just here out of a timeline that doesn't add up. A carpenter and a cloth merchant, just knocking out masterpieces, massive palaces, incredible architecture. And not only were they building it...
Pittergrin with 100 bits says an incredibly advanced civilization that built buildings that could survive a mud flood but not a fire. Hey, they focused on the flood bit, okay? Fire hadn't been invented yet. Prometheus was just sitting on his ass.
On the ground, but they were also doing it below, with a network of underground tunnels that connected to schools, hospitals, and churches, all hidden in plain sight. With fires again, conveniently erasing the old world structures over and over. This isn't a coincidence. This is a pattern. We are walking on the remains of a
doesn't know what a coincidence is on the bingo card.
Civilization far more advanced than we've been told. Their work was not created with wooden wheels and dirt roads. These were monuments built.
It's almost like they're offended that, like, impressive buildings could have been built by people who, like, drove horse and buggy. Like, it's like they're offended by the thought. It's so interesting.
To last forever, until the finders rewrote history and pinned these achievements to individuals who couldn't possibly have built them.
Thanks for following. Is it because they can't grasp, like in their heads, they, like, I understand, if you're thinking in a utilitarian sense, I could see going, like, why did we waste all these resources building, like, churches that effectively only existed, you know, for aesthetic purposes, when you could spend that time and energy on like residential things or other things? And it's like, well, that's just a very human behavior. The church was basically the governmental structure for Europe, like through a lot of its history, you know? And it was a sign of, like, power of the church and the power of God and stuff like that. And I just don't know if they get that. I think they're confused in part because it doesn't make a ton of sense, like in a utilitarian way. I don't know. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub and kicking off another hype train. Thank you very much. If you want to help the hype train, you can always gift subs, subscribe yourself, or use bits.
Today, you saw through the cracks in their story. You know now that this world is not what we've been told, and it is time to uncover the truth. Together, all of us, we are piecing this puzzle back together. One structure and one lie at a time. Never forget what we uncovered today, because this is only the beginning. Are you ready to go deeper?
Genuinely so full of shit. All right, I have to use the bathroom again real quick. I know we're on a hype train, but we had one earlier, so I don't know if this one's going to do anything anyway. So I'm going to go pee, and then we'll come back and finish up the stream. We have about 20 or 30 minutes left. Stairs got me. I'm stuck. Oh, I'm all wrapped around. Get it. He did it. I always leave you, but I always come back. Toreador says, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. We did it. I did a drama. 50% to level 1. Okay, let's see what we got. What's this one? No, that's long. Looked at the medbed people a lot recently.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Tyler Ellison, and I am very excited because I'm going to be delivering to you all tonight a
Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub, 81% to level 1.
A Ryok transmission. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the altered state and bring him through. Enjoy.
I like that shirt, not gonna lie. I like conspiracy-themed clothing. Emisaur, thanks for gifting another 5 tier 1 subs. You already gifted today. I appreciate it, though. Thank you so much. You're always so generous. I and everyone in chat really, really thanks you. 19% to level 3.
All right, and we thank you all so much.
Oh my god, it's like he started with a sneeze.
All right, and we thank you all so much for the unique co-creation of this interaction. As always, it is our civilization's highest joy, passion, excitement to be able to speak to each and every single one of you through the channel. In this evening's transmission, we shall be describing to you the idea of
those subs were gifted at work, now you're at home. Makes sense.
Of like attracts like, and the idea that you have in your physical sciences, that is, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And how these two ideas work together hand in hand in relationship to the processes that you utilize of manifestation, and how your manifestation practices and processes and how you create your experience of physical reality entangle with these ideas, so you can become more finely aware of your frequency and some of the effects that your frequency can have in the physical reality.
Drew says, but if you wear that, will people offline think you believe conspiracies, or will they think that you make fun of them? Do you think I walk around in public giving a shit what people think about me? I'm visibly trans. I have bigger shit to worry about than if people think I'm a conspiracy theorist. I gotta worry about people coming up to me and venting their unresolved issues on me for existing.
Experience. Now understand that whatever frequency state you are utilizing, whatever vibrational state of being you choose to be in, as a side effect, will align you with external reality experiences that are an energy match for your energy state. In other words, when you maintain a positive energy state with no expectation of what needs to occur, what needs to happen from that energy state, you align with external experiences that reflect that positive energy back to you.
Unstable Deadbeat, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Today's been an insane gift sub day. Thank you, everyone.
Positive energy in, positive effect out. Very simple. Now understand that as many of you choose to maintain that positive state, and as many of you experience positive reflections as a side effect of that state, we understand many of you will experience...
You notice he lost the accent a little? Like, it was really strong at the beginning, whatever that fake alien accent was. And it's kind of calmed down. You get it now. He's an alien. You don't have to belabor the point.
in your lives, certain negative reflections playing out.
He's channeling an alien, I think?
Be this in your collective, be this in yourselves. And while this may look somewhat conflicting, while to some it may seem as if somehow the negative energies, the negative realities are invalidating the positive manifestation, understand they're actually complementary. For as we have shared in the beginning, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So understand that when you choose to be in these positive states of being, in addition to attracting for yourself, manifesting for yourself realities that are an equal positive match for your energy state, as a side effect of that state, you will also become aware of realities that are an equal energy match for your positive state.
Okay, well, none of that meant anything. What else we got?
Through divine decree, the planetary hand has now anchored a quantum healing frequency field within Gaia's butterfly rainbow wings. A continuous toroidal healing frequency is flowing through Gaia's poles now, and our chakras are in sync with Gaia. A quantum medbed technology is now being made available to all humans on Earth. Mama Gaia wants her children healed
Mama Gaia.
Yesterday. To access this quantum planetary medbed, when you go to
Quantum planetary medbed. Did this guy lose a bet and he had to use every conspiracy buzzword in 1 minute of video?
Sleep each night, say 1. Activate quantum planetary medbed QPMB. 2. Scan my body. Wait until you feel it is done. 3.
Why are they in Assassin's Creed 2?
Clear and negate all toxins, parasites, and pathogens.
Assassin's Creed 2 was so good, they made Italy a real place.
4. Heal all imbalances and
Oh, look at that graphic! Oh boy!
disease. 5. You can also make specific requests to focus on a
This is getting real close to fetish content.
particular issue,
Minute left
be
in
it
the hype
physical,
train.
mental, emotional, spiritual. 6. You can also ask for a rejuvenating night's sleep or youth restoration. Happy healing.
That was certainly something.
Galactic Federation's medbeds. We, the Galactic Federation of Light,
Which full moon movie is this? It's not Murder Cycle. Maybe it's an Oblivion sequel?
are the wisdom behind the medbeds that are already treating humans on your planet Earth during this fortunate time of transition. There will come a time when these medbeds are available to the masses. Many of you have been going through the Ascension process for quite some time. Individual ascension moments, or moments of bliss, as you may perceive them, come together to become the totality. Each instant in which you choose, the light has a profound effect on your body, human awareness, and Gaia. With these greater dimensional changes, we're seeing humans becoming more...
Was there an Oblivion 2 already? I have the first one. I have all 6 Trancers movies. I'll tell you that much, but I don't own Oblivion 2. I even own fucking Trancers 6. I have Trancers 6, which is the gender swap one. The tagline is, this is, by the way, different sex, same death. Because the main character's name is Jack Death. And if you think that's a weird name, don't worry. The movie will point out that it's a weird name every 5 minutes.
more compassionate and caring. This is excellent. You are more activated by this energy from the great central sun. Many of you are curious about medbeds and how they could help mankind ascend at this time. It's an intriguing topic and one that many people will ask. Many people will be reluctant to use their healing abilities because they have been taught and conditioned to dread what might help them the most. It's a reset and enhancement, a fading away of illnesses and genetic...
You thought there were only 4 Trancers movies? No! There's 6. Tim Tomlinson only did up to 5, though. The last Trancers with Tim Tomlinson was in 1994. Trancers 5. It's time for sudden death. Again, it's a pun because his name is Jack Death.
Predispositions inside the human genome that have turned into diseases. You could think of it as deleting a program or removing a virus from your computer. Human beings shall be illuminated by light, love, peace, and clarity. Humanity will awaken to the higher level of light that already exists inside their bodies. The medbeds merely reset the DNA of the person. That is all there is to it. All illnesses,
resetting your DNA doesn't mean anything.
Scars, and existing ailments will be replaced with a higher dimensional form of health, and all replacement.
Helen Hunt was in 3 Trancers movies. That's what shocked me the most, was that she kept showing up for them. When I saw her in the first Trancers, I was like, oh, Helen Hunt's in this, before she made it big. And then she's in the second one, and I was like, holy shit, Helen Hunt still showed up for the sequel. That was nice of her. And she shows up in the fucking third one. Good for her. I respect that.
Hips and joints will be cured and perfect. Many of these facilities are available to us. Most galactic cities have them, and you will find them on board of many of our Galactic Federation ships. You may use them while you're sleeping, not only to heal or reset, but to optimize and recalibrate your DNA.
Oblivion 2 is so lazy, the main villain is just the brother of the first one, played by the same actor. Oh, it has Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea syndrome. Ursula's crazy sister!
There are many ways in which medbeds are very beneficial when utilized for quantum healing processes of body, mind, and soul. Medbeds can be tuned to various frequencies to facilitate targeted healing goals.
Various frequencies. Good, good. Those are the good ones. Oh my god, they edited this to make it look like a local news segment.
The future of medical care has arrived in our area.
Aurora St. Luke's gives us an exclusive look at the new technology.
Oh no. Okay, is this not an actual medbed thing? Green guy with a $3 tip says, have these people thought of just taking your meds in your bed? Boom, problem solved. You're welcome.
I'm very blessed to have met you and thank you.
Susan Cherubini has been fighting heart disease for years. Both her father and grandfather.
Oh, okay, this isn't a medbed thing. It's on the medbed playlist, but this is actually just about robotic surgery, which is cool, but it's not a medbed. Medbeds aren't real. Robotic surgery is.
Work with the Palladium beings and take people to the Starship. Now the Starship is one of like 250 Galactic Federation ships around the Earth at this time, and yeah, they're all exploring.
Quiet.
We're down the beach exploring again today. Our little vlog. Harley's here with me today. We're exploring after the high tide's been up over the rocks. And Daddy is out surfing today, so we're going to catch up for some coffee, some healthy food after his surf. And it's such a beautiful day here in Australia. We're so blessed to live on the beautiful beach and enjoy the beautiful waters that the earth has. And yeah, we're just getting out and grounding after our big journeys last week, doing meditation and breath work. We really are trying to find the time to come out in nature.
Some people don't get the skin cancer memo. I hope they have sunscreen on, because they are in Australia, and the UV index there is like fucking crazy, and like they're super pale.
And really,
yeah, I wish people didn't show their kids on vlogs either.
And ground in our new energy flows that we have.
I would have actually blurred this had I known there was going to be a kid in this. I apologize.
And yeah, we've been doing lots of sessions with the medbed and the ETs, and they've been helping heal and serve so many people. And
oh, he's one of the Aryan alien fans. I hope that doesn't speak to her political beliefs.
Yeah, correct new old energy flows and replace them with new energy flows. It's been really fun to explore this new modality that's, you know, kind of just come through, and yeah, we've channeled in, and it's been really nice to work with the Palladium beings and take people to the Starship. Now the Starship is one of like 250 Galactic Federation ships around the Earth at this time, and yeah, they're all on standby, ready for us to connect to them, and yeah, we can reach out for their help and their guidance with healing. And well, the ship that I'm working with obviously has the advanced technology on board, and I'm not sure what the other ships have on board, but yeah, it's really interesting to see the transformation with certain clients. We're doing, with the medbed, we're taking them up there and putting them in the medbed, and it's, yeah, the first section is like a sweep of their cells to check how their cells are looking, and then any repair work that needs to be done. Then the second section of the medbed treatment is actually gene and DNA, like a DNA sweep, just to check how they're going, if they're set for ascension, how much light force energy they're holding within their DNA structure and gene structure, and if any repair work needs to be done, we kind of, the medbed will do that and process that. And then also we have the blessing to download light codes and activate the light codes, which is like Akashic records and gifts and abilities and interplanetary life memories and all goodies. So,
as I've talked about before, the Akashic records thing, they believe that there's basically a interdimensional space and spiritual library of Alexandria with ultimate wisdom, and that through your mind, psychically, you can connect to it and download information. So basically, it's a way that they can imagine any bullshit they want and go, I didn't just make that up. I channeled that from the Akashic records, and that's my source. It's batshit. It's genuinely batshit.
yeah, once the client or the person that gets the treatment's frequency raises even further, all of those light codes are activated as they go.
Akashic Records is an anime. So's Dan to Dan. That's coming out on Blu-ray soon. Why do I know that? I don't know. Anime's terrible. I've never watched anime in my life.
Yeah, a lot of people are finding that they have lots of energy after the treatment. You know, we're removing limiting false beliefs in the treatment as well. Any emotional injuries within the organs that have been manifested from trauma is being released. And so yeah, it's been really nice to help people, take people on this journey, and yeah, merge them back with their soul, their higher self. You know, there's so much that comes up in the session when I'm channeling through, and the ETs are telepathically communicating with me, and they're actually physically working on the person's body as the medbed goes. So it's like a real, like it's kind of like a double healing session in a sense, and it's really, really cool. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. Yeah, just being able to be of service and moving myself from the old way, the 3D way of service to self to service to others, and yeah, that's like what our goal is now, and it has been.
Gross. Okay.
Today I have an update from a Pleiadian High Commander of the Battle Station Excelsior about medbeds. She even gives a clue about the holdup with the beds and what we can do to move the process along. This information comes from Elena Danan, who
There's going to be people in 30 years still waiting for this stuff.
Talked about before.
It is AI.
She's got an excellent information portal for all things extraterrestrial, and I will link it in the description. Elena does not channel these communications, but receives them via physical encounters or technological means. I apologize. The information came December 11th, 2023, and I just saw it. The High Commander...
Fuck these people. Okay. We're done for the day, I think. I think we're probably done for the day. I appreciate all of you hanging out and watching such interesting nonsense with me. I really do. It's a lot of fun. So, I will be back tomorrow. We're probably going to do Sovereign Citizens. Probably do a Sov Sit Saturday. So I will see you then, hopefully, if you can make it. I'll also be streaming Sunday, a regular stream, as well as the Patreon and YouTube member stream. So, hope to see you for that if you're a YouTube member or a Patreon that's paid. So let's see, who are we gonna raid?
Windows love.
All right. Have a great night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. And if I don't, I'll hopefully see you soon. Do 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 do. Ba dum bum bum. Michigan J Frog. He's my hero.